Folks. Oh, good coffee. Let me know if you guys can hear me. No game sound today. Yet. I see Stream Elements posted in chat for me, so something's working. I'm trying a new chat thing today. Loud and clear, thank you, Yogi. I'm trying this thing called Hyper Chat. It's like a YouTube extension. I'm hoping that it will actually record the chat for longer because it has like a sticky, what do you call it? Super Chat sticky feature, which keeps them up there forever so I don't miss any. So I'm hoping that also means it's just going to keep all my chat forever, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Still haven't found a good chat client that keeps, or that combines the two, other than Restream offers that, but then you have to stream through Restream, and I don't want to do that. Hope you guys got the patch I just posted. 2.3.8 for Workshop Framework, and 3.0.0 for SS2 and the chapters. It's available now. Just finished uploading that like 15 minutes ago. So that'll have a few fixes. I got hooked on one fix that took me forever. Like I was working on it all night yesterday, and then for a couple hours today to get the there was two things I was fixing actually. It was one was that some people were having the gunners just keep coming back up. Like you take them down and then they would just stand back up again. They were getting marked essential effectively and getting stuck that way. And it was actually normal that they got marked essential because it's part of the prison system. If you didn't mark some of them essential, you would have no way to collect prisoners. But it was happening even for people who weren't set up to take prisoners, and really none of you guys are, because the prison system is we cut it at the last minute because it's kind of broken. So that you can build prisons, but the POW system doesn't really work right now because it was too funky. So we decided to just put a pin in it, but some of it was still working. So that's why you were getting weird behavior. So I fixed that. I also fixed the companions deciding to attack you instead of joining you when they were stationed at a settlement that the gunners were taking. And then I think I put it in the patch notes because it felt like it was working. But I mean, I literally tried for 10 minutes, and I think I got the captives to stop showing up red, which would be nice, because that's one of those things that just feels bad when you're like trying to cycle through with VATs to find targets, and you just keep getting your captives because clearly those are your people. So hopefully that's fixed as well. Techman's open. No prisoners on my prisoners were on my watch. Yeah, well that's supposed to be part of your ideology thing, and I don't think it was working. So we'll go back and polish up a lot of this stuff later and enhance on some of these features and everything. And we have a lot more stuff we want to do with the ideology system too. All right, so like we're gonna do the same thing we did I think it was last week, right? That I did the bug fix live. We're gonna do the same basic thing. I'm gonna just hang out and engage with chat as much as possible, and then as soon as somebody has a bug that I think I can fix, in an hour or less, we'll tackle it. Hopefully some people will have some nice simple stuff. Hopefully whatever you guys report, I can find a report in our alpha thing. We have quite a lot of issues reported. We've been slowly expanding the circle of people who have access to our alpha thing. We didn't bother switching to the live one yet because we haven't really been doing public betas. It's all just kind of it's all just go. We just hotfix. We test it ourselves and hope for the best because we just don't have time to do it all if we're gonna be hotfixing. But we're also making like kind of surgical changes to try and avoid it. So I'm gonna kind of hopefully keep up with chat here today for a little bit. Let's see. Let's scroll back up. Shadow Man Fan at 753 said, Vault 75 isn't being hijacked for sympathy for the devil. Can you can't put the holotape in the terminal? I'll have to use console to skip that stage. So I would ask you, Shadow Man, did you skip runners and gunners with the holotape? If so, then I have that issue solved for next batch for what would you call it? J, for 300J. Because basically as soon as we package up a patch for you guys, then there's still a couple hours while it uploads, and then usually I'm making little tweaks. So we've already got the next patch started. But if Vault 75 is not hijacked and you did runners and gutters naturally, that's very strange. That's very strange. But you should be able, fortunately, if that's the case, you can actually just go to the little doohickey, the little intercom next to the door, and just re-switch back to the SS2 version. Couldn't convince Aiden and Salvador to start talking because they bug out if a HQ thing spawns while we're at etc. at the start of internal affairs. Well, that's a bug we can work on. That's just, I just need to set up their little scene to repeat. So I'll have to do that. We can do that in just a second. Let me read a little bit more chat here. Kenneth saw this version. It was out fixing the end credits perma-scrolling. Yeah, I think I fixed that. I basically set it up now. For those of you guys who haven't reached the end yet, there's when you get to the end of the chapter 3 story, we actually have like in-game credit, like a credit scroll. And the HUD framework just didn't want to let it go. Every time we'd boot back up, it would play it again. So now I just have it, as soon as you load your game, it tries to shut down the credits. That way, if they happen to come back, then they should get killed again. The music fan, I started a new playthrough and noticed that the Abernathy locket was not Olivia Station unless I used the door controller to set the cell to vanilla. Yeah, that's normal. Any of the cells that we hijack, although Abernathy should start at, wait a second, the Olivia Station should start at vanilla. We don't hijack it until the very end. So if it's getting hijacked immediately, something is broken. Because even our first quest, you can't do it in our cell. It's actually in the vanilla cell. So need more information, the music fan. That sounds very funky. I guess I can go check and make sure. I can go to, so let me write down these bugs because now you guys have got me two I can work on. So we've got Aiden and Sal in internal affairs. And I will show you guys my screen shortly. I'm just taking some notes here first. All right, and then we're going to look at, make sure Olivia defaults to vanilla. All right, got two we can work on for sure tonight. Let's see what else we got here. Make sure you guys at kinggath when you're to make sure I can see your messages. They stand out a little bit for me. Okay, cool. People can hear me. Awesome. And it seems like, oh, also guys, with the at kinggath thing, for whatever reason, I think it's this new chat software I'm working, it's case sensitive, so you have to do it in lowercase. So if you at kinggath me in uppercase, it doesn't highlight. So at kinggath in lowercase. Erisa, Starfield is coming soon. How long until you start working on that? I mean, when they give us official tools. I'm not one for messing around with community tools. Like, I like the community tools. I just would prefer the official tools before I start getting into it. Because if they have to make some major game change and it breaks, like, if they have to make some major game change in a patch, like if Bethesda does, and it breaks community tools, they will, if they breaks their own tools and mods made with their own tools, they will fix it. If it breaks stuff created with community tools, they won't. So I'm not really in a rush to get out stuff that Bethesda could break. Like I had that happen. I had put out a Fallout 76 mod, and then because they didn't have official tools, it got broken pretty quickly. And I just didn't have the energy to keep figuring out how to fix it again. Deep Dive Gaming finally got a clean ending to CR. Awesome. So Commonwealth Rising, hopefully fixed now. It's one of those. That's one of those bummer quests that that was working fantastically prior to Chapter 3's launch, and we had to make some tweaks to it to transition smoothly into Chapter 3. And unfortunately, I kept breaking it, but I think we got it now. Jason Locrance, thank you for the donation. Really enjoyed your appearance on Deep Dive Gaming stream the other night. Could listen to you both talk hours on end. Yeah, if you guys want to hear me talk about, it was a lot about the past of Sim Settlements. I was on Deep Dive Gaming's channel yesterday. I think he posted the video on YouTube today. So we chatted for like an hour yesterday. Let's see here. Question: are you doing tonight's stream on Twitch as well? I am. I don't see any reason not to dual stream. It's easy for me. I just have this extra piece of software running and it does it for me. So as long as we're not having like massive, what would you call it, lag issues where you guys can't hear me well, or there's lots of stuttering, then I see no reason not to do both. Can you fix the remove me bug in the hangar? Yeah, that's funny. The testers have mentioned that to me like a dozen times, and I keep going, oh yeah, I'll take care of it, and then I just forget. So let me put that. So remove me and hanger. That is definitely an easy one we can do. Well, let's see. Quester WI Kinggath is the original subscriber to Deep Dive Gaming's Twitch channel. I want to thank you for kindly showing up for a stream last night. Yeah, no problem. It was fun. Yeah, I love chatting about Sim Settlements. So happily do stuff like that. And I was a huge fan of Deep Dive's video exploring the lore of chapters 1 and 2, because I had never thought of somebody doing that with some of our stuff, of deep diving into ours. When there's a lot to dive into. Even watching that video, I learned a couple of things I didn't realize that people had snuck into the mod. Prince Jackson Helsing. Hello, I wanted to say I love Sim Settlements 2 series, and I still have a lot of catching up to do. Also, to question, how do you unlock the headquarters? So you get to the headquarters by just proceeding through our story. As soon as you get to a part that involves... I don't want to story spoil for you if you haven't gotten to it yet, so I'll just say there's going to be a point where you will acquire it. It's very, very obvious. And then shortly after that, there'll basically... Jake will, I can't remember if he calls you on the radio or if you just get him. We usually have people call you on the radio. It's pretty rare that we do just like objective pops up arbitrarily, because that feels very unimmersive. I know there's a few times we did it because we just failed to consider, like, oh, the player might leave here. So we had no choice but to put some pop-up objectives out of nowhere. But basically, Jake will suggest, well, why don't we just stay here? So you'll know when it's going to happen. Oscar Fry, the cage from Brannigan's Bounty is unlocked and wide open for me. Have to close cage to get Craig. Yeah, I don't know how to solve that one. I tried to solve it, but the AI apparently can just unlock any door they want. I don't know why. It might have to do with the fact that the key is on one of the raiders, and maybe that raider can unlock it. I don't actually know how locks work. I have to look into that. But I did try fixing it once, and then I gave up, and... people have usually figured it out. Just tinker with the door and boop, there he goes. Antac, do you plan on giving us the option to call our organization CPG or even full Commonwealth Provisional Government? Mods will be able to, in fact, anybody who knows how to make an add-on could do this right now. You can inject whatever names you want into the system. But obviously our characters, we have, I think, 3 different characters who will speak the name of your group, and they will obviously not if you inject a custom one. Braytech just ran into a bug. Gunners are marked as essential during defense quests in Chapter 2. BS soldiers mowing down gunners at Boston Airport is pretty funny, though. Yeah, that is... Wait, during defense quests? So, like, when they're attacking you? Or when you're attacking them? If it's... Because I just fixed today, like in or in patch 3.0.i, I just fixed some of them getting marked as essential when you're attacking them, but I've not seen it when they're attacking you. All right, I'm just I'm doing some tests right now with this new chat to see. It does seem like it keeps all the history, which that's going to be awesome if that's the case, because then I no longer have to apologize for losing your guys' questions. Now it'll just be I missed them because I'm slow. Are you planning on playing on Starfield early with the digital premium edition? I am. I was a sucker who pre-ordered over that. Although. I think don't you get something else too? I don't think it's just you get a few days extra to play. I think you get like the first DLC or something. It was a good enough value proposition that yeah, I definitely did that. But before I allow myself to play Starfield, I got to get you guys patched through Chapter 3. So that is why we are here tonight. I can't rest until I'm sure that any bugs that are in the base mod that are stopping progress are resolved. Obviously, there will be bug fixing for a year and a half on all these features because there's so much going on. But we can at least get you guys through the quests. Glenn Miller, during quest leverage objective, lift the security lockdown. The object to enter the vent wasn't there, and the vent opened the edges of the vent. So one thing today, guys, with fixes and stuff, I won't be touching NLTC, and I won't be touching the last couple of quests in Chapter 3 on camera. NLTC because I don't know them. The last 3 quests because I don't want to spoil stuff for people who haven't gotten there yet, but also because the person who handles 2 of those last 3 is not me. So I don't want to step on their toes, or it's a very, very complex quest I don't want to break. So so I'm going to focus on stuff earlier in the story. Basically, the stuff that I'm in charge of is everything up through, excuse me, when it rains. So everything before that, I'm pretty confident I can resolve issues in. Also, I think most of you guys have gotten to that stuff by now. Maybe not when it rains, but I think I hear a lot of people, even folks who get stuck on State of War, have figured out eventually how to get to at least to Led by Example. So I think we can safely work on some of those bugs. But anything that's NLTC or after when it rains, we're gonna avoid. Let's see here. Congratulations on pronouncing my name right. Yeah, I get one right. For every one I butcher for the week, I get one right. Dalton the Gamer, having issue on Xbox for part 2. It's now crashing game and freezing everything and crashing the game. Do you know, like, where are you in on it? I actually, funny you mentioned that. I almost decided to start an Xbox playthrough, because I know Xbox players kind of you guys get the short end of the stick. Not only do you have minimal mod space and crashing downtown Boston, but you also tend to get less support because there's not much we can do. Like we don't have commands you can run. We don't have a way for you to show us logs, and we don't have as many people playing on Xbox on our forums who can help. So I know you guys, I was hoping to throw you guys a bone and play myself on it. That way I have a save I could follow along. But where my Xbox is, and I would need to connect it to a PC with a capture card. And I have a capture card, but I need like a gigantic HDMI cable, which I have, but I actually have it rigged up to what's going to be my new gaming PC that I've like got half set up, and I just did not want to tear all that apart. So, but that's going to happen eventually. I am going to play through on Xbox so that I can show that it's possible, and we can find any like bugs that are specific to Xbox that I can resolve, since I know a lot of those get lost in the forums. Nonya84, I am playing on the new, and everything has been working, but I feel strong and old Paul at King's Lighthouse, and now I can't go back to the lighthouse. So if you can't get back to a place, there is where's the best place to do this? So open up the workshop framework holotape, and if you don't have that, you can craft it at a chem bench. I think that's where this is. God, I haven't used it in so long. Actually, let's bring the game open. I will share my screen. Oh, hold on. I gotta switch my sound. My sound is gonna blare over my speakers, and then that's not gonna work out good for you guys. There we go. Now it's in my headphones. All right, let's find, which scene is it? It should be this, and now you guys should see blackness, right? And then you should see my taskbar for a second. There we go. Let's pop in game, and I'll show you this little tool, Nonya. Ooh, that's loud. Alright, I gotta try not to spoil anything with all this stuff up on my screen. Let's see. Let's go way down here. So many saves on this computer right now. This one. This will work. Now we gotta turn down the volume. It's cranked. So there is a 99% certain, somebody you guys, well, I should just scroll down in the chat. Somebody you guys might be already answering that. Okay. You're playing on the new Xbox. Okay. So yeah, this is the tool you have for Xbox. So you're gonna go, well, should have a camera. Oh, this is really loud. Hold on. Audio. Oh yeah, I had it cranked so I could hear it over my music earlier today. So you go to a chem bench and build a workshop framework holotape. There's a little tool in there that can help your settlements, especially when you don't want to lose access to some characters. So basically this thing's gonna nuke your settlement. So it's not ideal, but it's what we've got. So we're gonna go to make a workshop framework controls. We have 2 different versions just so that depending on what sorting mods you have. And if we load up that holotape, we'll go to tools, and then we're going to go to, what is it called? Remote settlement recovery. And then when you exit out of the Pip-Boy, it should come up. There we go. So you can pick a settlement that you need to rescue. So yours was Kingsport. Doesn't really matter which one it is. And you go to view recovery options. And now if you're on PC, you'll have all these different options. If you have workshop framework, F4SE. Otherwise, you'll just have reset location, and you can choose that. And basically, reset location will destroy a bunch of the workshop items, and more importantly, it gets rid of the power grids there. So that way, if you're crashing from power grids, which is almost certainly what it is, then you should be able to enter again. So run that tool, and hopefully you'll be able to get back there. All right, let's see here. All right, scrolling up, scrolling up. So this chat still has the problem of like rapidly scrolling, but at least it's not eating my old chat, which is good. Prince Jackson Helsing, I wanted to ask something, but I know it's a spoiler, so I'll ask this in a very weird way or whatever. Why does so-and-so not exist anymore later on? I haven't gotten far into it. That is a little too cryptic, unfortunately. I would need more cowbell. Braytech, during hostile takeover, war is good for business when you have to defend settlements from gunner attacks. Some of those are getting marked essential? That's odd. Okay. Well, that's controlled by a different system, so I can look into that, but I don't know why those would get marked as essential. So hostile takeover. That one we can look into. Hostile takeover, immortal gunners. All right, let's see here. Silent Mac, any tips on where the terminal is in Vault 75 of the quest Sympathy of the Devil? Make sure you are in the SS2 version of the cell. So Vault 75 during the quest runners and gunners gets flipped to a different version of the cell. It looks identical, but it's ours where we made a lot of changes. And if you used the holotape to skip past runners and gunners, which is the first quest of Chapter 2, then you won't have swapped Vault 75 over. And so you can try your luck with playing with the little intercom at the door and see if that lets you switch to the SS2 version, but that is why. So I'm guessing it's because you must have cheat skipped, but if not, then we have a big problem. If it's not from cheat skipping, I don't know what could be wrong. But if you didn't cheat skip, the 100% the intercom should work to switch back to the SS2 version. You might have to toggle it twice. Like you might have to switch it, tell it you're switching to vanilla even when it's already vanilla, and then switch it back, because it might be something like the cell resets. So every 30 days in game, after you clear a cell, it'll reset the cell back to how it was. So it's possible that our hijacking only lasts for 30 days and then you got to do it again. So you might need to mess with the intercom, which we were going to go check on that anyway. So let's TMM1 so we can see all of our map markers. And let's go look at Satellite Living. Let's TGM and T-Detect as well, so we don't have to deal with dying. There we go. So I can show you over while we're checking satellite station to make sure that ours isn't enabled. Our hijack is enabled by default. I can show you the intercom. Carver, did you take time off to dive hard on Starfield? No, I did not. Did not. But I assume, knowing myself, I will probably not be getting much sleep that night. Okay, so oh yeah, so the intercom I think appears after the hijack occurs. That's right. So yeah, so the hijack for Vault 75 probably isn't going to be there right now. I can patch that though, so I'll add that to the patch because I have it already. I updated the cheat command, so that's got to mean you guys cheated past it. But I'll wait till I see confirmation, because if not, then I'm gonna have to come up with a solution for that. Like, because that means it's probably happening. It's probably a problem for everybody. Okay, so this should be the vanilla cell. Actually, I can just click on anything to find that out. So if I click on something in here, and these all say Fallout 4, not SS2. How about you guys? Let's see all this stuff. Cardboard box, yeah, everything's fine. Okay, so by default, Olivia is the vanilla cell. It only swaps over to our version very late in our quest line. Very late. It's a chapter 3 thing. So if the locket's not there, that is unrelated to us. We don't mess with that quest. But see, you can see the comm hub box is in there because we actually put this in the vanilla cell. Because we didn't start messing around with cell swaps until chapter 2, I think. I can't remember if maybe we have a cell swap in chapter 1. I just don't remember it. Homely Desert Fought. Saves are good, right? I had some conflicting mods and soft lock my BS run with SS2 and started a new game. I like to not have to restart again. I don't I don't know how you soft locked it. Godchild just finished chapter 3. I'm starting new gameplay. You just finished. Awesome. Congrats. Glad to hear people are making it through. I'm Denise Dale, thank you for the subscribe. I'm anxious to hear some more people making it through without having to cheat past anything. That'll feel real good when we get to that point. Let's see. Prince says, by the way, I think I found a bug recently when using settlement plants. As some plants won't go into cinematic mode at some settlements. Happened at Boathouse settlement for me. Interesting. I know we have it blocked in interior settlements because it gets real weird. You end up like floating through the level, but it should be enabled everywhere else. Deep Dive Gaming fully updated and lots of in-game hours passed, but the next quest hasn't started yet. If you're talking about after Commonwealth Rising, so after you finish, if you finish Commonwealth Rising on a save, Sergeant Shella, thank you for the subscribe. If you finish Commonwealth Rising on a save that already has Chapter 3 installed, the next requirements are you have to get Seed of Glowing Sea to trigger. So that's the one where Jake will call you and incorrectly pronounce perusing. And then you'll start up Seed of Glowing Sea. And then it starts a timer that is for 48 hours, I believe. There, we can check. Let's bring up our code here. We want SQ02. Actually, no, it's not on SQ02. It is on, what quest is on MQ27. Here we go. So on MQ27, what are we watching for here? Oh no, it's not on there either. It is on, where did we put this? Is it on MQ Master C3? Maybe it is. SQ01. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. So basically, what happens is periodically this try to start chapter 3 is run. It checks that MQ27, which is Commonwealth Rising, is done, and then looks to make sure you're at least on stage 10 of Seed of Glowing Sea. It can also look for SQ02, which is row management. It'll see, is it completed or is it not started? Basically, that's what this is looking. This nonsense line means, is it either not started or is it done? And then if both are done, then it's going to, if all three were done from a knit, which means like when chapter 3 started for the first time, it'll immediately just launch flickering lights. Otherwise, it starts a 48-hour timer. After that timer is done, you will be in quest MQ28. Which, let me find that guy. That's 33. We'll put it up here. MQ28. And then MQ28 startup will complete, enables all the things, and then it queues up a radio call that will happen immediately if you're outdoors. Otherwise, it probably waits till the next time you're in the Commonwealth outside somewhere. Or it'll give you a, you should get the objective immediately too to speak to him. So that way if something failed, if something with the radio went wrong, because there are all sorts of things that can mess with the radio since it's a conversation, you'll get an objective to call him back on HQ radio. So it looks like it's 48 hours after Seed of Glowing Sea reaches stage 10. So I actually have a save. I can show you what that looks like. Well, at least I think I do, somewhere buried in this stuff here. Let's see. So that one is complete. I need one that's before being completed. Pre-finale. Here we go. So we can walk right through it on here. Let's see. Godchild, I was stuck at the ending cinematic every time I load my save. It always show up. Yeah, it should be on the new version. You're talking about like the credits that come up. That should clear up with the 300i that I put out tonight. That should clear up automatically as soon as you boot up, or within a few seconds after you boot it up. Dalton the Gamer, I'm on Dark Horizon quest. It seems like it doesn't like loading the Red Rocket truck stop when fast traveling to Concord. It seems to be loading, but very slowly. Silent Mac confirms the end credits have been fixed. Awesome. Yeah, I thought I had fixed them the one before because I'd put in some code that would tell Workshop Frameworks. We have like multiple layers of interface. Like Workshop Framework has a universal interface for HUD Framework, and it basically helps keep traffic down between HUD Framework, because one of the problems with HUD Framework is all mods have to share it, and so Workshop Framework was kind of adding in a layer between to help from overwhelming it, and also as a way for us not to have a hard dependency on HUD Framework. And apparently the calls I was using to shut down the credits in patch H weren't working, so I had to redo it in I. Let's see, as far as Dark Horizon goes, Dalton, I can't think of anything in that would cause any weird stuff, because Dark Horizon, yeah, I can't think of anything it would be doing to Red Rocket. Because I'm pretty sure the next quest after that sends you to Oberlin. Or a random settlement. I guess I don't know if it can choose Red Rocket. I don't recall. I know I think it tries to choose a random settlement, and then it uses Oberlin as its fallback. So here we can play the end of chapter 2. So I'm gonna just speed run through this with lots of clicking as soon as I'm past this initial little bit. So spoiler alert. This is the very ending of chapter 2's content.
Hayden, don't be an ass.
What's the trouble here?
Oh, brown face bug.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. Yes, of course.
Well, we've slowed down.
Start from the beginning.
Okay. Spam, 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 spam. Alright, and then some of this we can't skip through. Alright, we're waiting for that.
I don't understand.
Shadowman fan, how do we get the optimal ending with as many factionalities as possible? Oh, so here's something. So there was a thread going on today about, or yesterday, one of these last couple of days, about Under One Banner. So we've got Under One Banner as a quest where basically it opens up the door to, hey, you can go recruit some people you've met as allies for this fight, and in fact it's meant to be like allies in general, because that way any post-launch content we add would also be benefited from different allies you have. And somebody made a post about there's an ending you can pull off where you defeat the Institute with the Minutemen, and you can keep the Brotherhood and Railroad as your allies, and it requires you to do things in a very particular order. Now, right now, there's a bug in our system that allows that to work, where you can end up with all three. And we're going to support that. So we have to make some changes to our system, but we are going to support that. Since it's technically a possible ending without any mods, we're going to support it. So if you look up how to defeat the Institute with the Railroad and Brotherhood, there's a very popular video with this, it has like 1 million views. If you do that, we'll make sure that that our system supports it. Right now it probably will, because we just didn't anticipate that. I do have to make, I think right now, if you were to go and defeat the Institute with the Minutemen and didn't bother to meet the Railroad or the Brotherhood, which I don't know if you can even do that, but if you didn't get those quests far enough, you could probably end up with them as allies, and it would be very confusing, because you're like, I've never even talked to you yet. We got to fix that up, but yeah, we are going to support that ending, because even though I don't think Bethesda intended on it working, it does work in the base game. They never patched it out, so we're gonna support that one.
You said there were...
All right, let's keep skipping through, and then I'll get back to chat.
Do you know where they're coming from?
Hey,
Right.
I think I just found the comm signal again.
Wait, sure. What do you... Go ahead.
All right, here we go. All right, I don't think I can skip this. No. Okay, cool. So, let's see.
What's the holdup? Over. Spearhead command.
Still getting chat skipping with this new software. I swear I'm gonna write my own YouTube live chat software, because this one. Zambambino, will Allison Gale be a companion and Lydia a romance option on the line? So, yes to Allison, no to Lydia. Allison, yes, because we can just do that. Lydia, no, because the voice actress is gone. We can't she's just unavailable. She doesn't respond to our messages anymore. So we are unable to finish the dialogue we would need. Otherwise, that was post-launch planned, but unfortunately, without the voice actor, we can't do it. And she's got way too much dialogue for us to revoice her. Nick Carter, when you get your new PC set up, you should increase the stream quality to 1440. It might not be an issue with my PC. It's going to be an issue with my internet. So, like, I don't know that my upload speeds are good enough for that. We can try it.
Expect their deployment with the next batch. Over. Now damn time. We need that manpower just to take back the plaza. Never mind resecuring the Commonwealth.
The flickering wavy thing is making me sick. I don't... What? Oh, the, which wavy thing? Are you talking about the little thing in the... Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Kenneth.
With the gunners. And no one looks down on me and lives. AG lead. Over and out.
Oh no, not again.
Bethel? Berman?
I'm sorry I let him go. That was a mistake.
Never mind about that.
Modding
Did you
Goat,
hear
yes,
what
you
they
can ask
said?
questions on
They're coming back
Twitch
to
as well.
Boston.
I tend to get stuck on YouTube because the chat's much bigger, but I will poke my head over at Twitch as well sometimes.
Gunners aren't just coming back. They're returning with
An army?
Moving.
I can't believe... Well,
All right, let's see if I fix this bug.
War. War never changes.
Oops, forgot the lip sync. Okay, we're getting closer on that. So we need to get the, let's put that on my list.
starting to think of this place as home.
Lip sync for final player line in CR. Okay. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 easy bugs I can fix tonight. I'm gonna keep going with chat, and then we'll start fixing some bugs here. Can I turn up the dialogue audio? We're not gonna be doing much more in the game, Quester. I was just trying to skip ahead, and I want to show people how to get Chapter 3 started from a save where they completed Chapter 2 while Chapter 3 was installed, which is what I just did here. So we are going to leave. We're gonna head off to like Sanctuary, I guess. And we'll pass some time. The Dr. Juice audio, or the video where I posted on Twitter the missing audio dialogue. I did. It's just, it's pulling that dialogue for Xbox is kind of a pain. So I have not done it yet, but I know which audio you're talking about now. There was some audio added to Chapter 1 when Chapter 2 came out to Jake, where he's talking with Edmund, and it looks like that audio never got added to Xbox. Maybe we can do that on camera today, since Xbox Jake audio around Edmund combo. Okay, put that on my list here. All right, let's get away from the hammering so we don't all go crazy. And then we're going to use our console commands to pass some time. Lucian Kane, thanks for telling me the fix for the resources thing. Awesome. I'm glad you got it fixed. That's great. Modding Goat, I was hoping to get permission to use the guitar mod with due credit given, of course, and he hasn't responded to my messages I've sent the last year, and I'd like a no if possible. If he's not responding, then that's a no. He just doesn't want to disappoint you. So I'm gonna say that's a no for him. So next time I talk to him, I'll confirm it for you. But yeah, I'm guessing he does not want that. All right, we got autosave. All right, let's see if that was enough. I don't remember how many hours it is after when Seed of Glowing Sea starts. Actually, maybe it'll already, because actually I'm pretty sure Seed of Glowing Sea doesn't have to wait till after, if I remember correctly. Actually, let's see if I did already do it. Did I already complete Seed of Glowing Sea? Oh yeah, I've already finished it on this remote management, so it should be in 48 hours then. So in theory, and I can actually check that. Well, we'll just go ahead and pass the time and see what happens. So I can actually check in the log file. I have a log file that goes out if you've already completed that stuff. Let's pass time again. Maize and Silvers, when I begin Nuka World's open season, I begin getting messages that my outposts are no longer allied to me. Is that a way to fix that? No, not yet. So I forgot about this issue. We ran into it with Conqueror as well. we have to basically make a patch for Nuka World, and it won't work on existing saves. So I will assemble that patch soon, but for now, just know that if you do open season, you're going to lose a lot of your outposts, and you're going to have to go reclaim them all. What you'll want to do as your Band-Aid solution is to go in with either your Workshop Framework holotape or an MCM. Go to those settlements, click on mod config, Workshop Framework, tools, and then do claim this settlement inside of those. That's what you're gonna have to do, and then you can reuse the War Planner's desk to convert them back into outposts again. And there we go. So we waited 48 hours. Here's Aiden calling in, and starts flickering lights. So that's what you guys should experience if you're taking a save that's not seen chapter, or that didn't have chapter 2 finished when chapter 3 started. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what happened there? Why did I get stuck? Alright, let's see here. Speak to Aiden. Alright, let's call him back again. Let's see what's going on. Why did that get stuck?
It's Aiden. We need you back at HQ.
Uh-oh. What's going on here? Why is this scene not working? Alright, well that's a bug we're going to try and fix right now. Alright, so you can, if you ever get stuck in HQ radio, you can toggle in and out of first person to break out of it. So let's see here. We're going to save this as save MQ28 radio call stuck. That'll be another one we work on. Alright, I think I'm going to stop trying to catch up with chat so that I can start working on stuff. So we've got a problem here with MQ28, it looks like. Hopefully you guys aren't running into this, and this is just something funky with my save, but I'm gonna go forward how I always approach these, which is assuming that if I'm having the problem, everybody's, or there's a lot of people having the problem. So let's, because I'm on a minimal load order. I have virtually nothing, no other mods installed other than some F4SC plugins. So we're gonna look at our starting radio call here, and we're gonna check a few things. So the first thing that can get these scenes stuck is when we have AI packages that don't have ignore for completion, but we got that checked, so we're good. Another one can be if we have we're gonna turn that off. The other one can be if combat or death kicks in. So I guess it's possible that this is happening because of the rad storm. So let's try force weather 2B52A. Oops, 2B52A. Let's see if the rad storm was the cause. Put away our weapon. Try this again.
It's Aiden. We need you back at HQ.
And nope, that wasn't it. Okay, so the next thing we can do is we can test if the player is in a scene, and I have a little utility mod I wrote for this. And we will also test Aiden as well while we're at it. So let's do, I gotta look up his thing. Oh, come on. Oh, maybe I don't have a dialogue quest for him in chapter 1. Nope. No, that one will work too. Okay. Oh, he doesn't have any aliases in there. That's very odd. That's very odd that we don't have any aliases. That's actually concerning that we don't have any aliases in his chapter 3 quest. That is a problem. SS2C3 dialogue. Yeah, I don't like that at all. That is a problem. Oh, I guess we didn't have much in that quest anyway, but I will have to fix that at some point. Okay, so we're going to do trace out Aiden's package, 43DE1. And we're going to see if anybody is stuck in a weird AI package. Let's see here. So, yep, player is not in an AI package. That's good. What package is Aiden in right now? He is in the workshop package. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why he's in the master. That's very odd. Must be something weird with the conditioning. All right, so then we need to trace out their scenes. So we'll do trace scene for the player. Actor's not in a scene. Okay, how about Aiden? And he is not in scene either. Okay. All right, let's see if there's anything else odd about this. We got disabled dialogue camera. Dialogue distance override is good. Nothing there. Make sure there's no scene repeat. Good. Nothing there. Okay, yeah, so none of this should be impacting things. All right, we're going to try this. We're going to delete out this AI package here. Press OK. Exit out of here. And then I have these little micro plugins I use while we're testing things, just to quickly check and see if we can fix a bug before we do any merging. So I'll pop back in. All right, let's see what we got here. After the dogfight over at HQ, a lot of the infirmary NPCs don't have dialogue if you speak to them after waking up. Is that a bug or just unfinished content? If they're the unvoiced ones, like where you just get subtitles, yeah, that's just, it was just a mistake in casting. That's being resolved. So we'll call it unfinished content. The NPCs laying on the beds are not meant to talk, if that's what you're talking about. Those are just supposed to be in pain NPCs. Like they're just set dressing effectively. They're not even actually real NPCs. There's this there's a flag in there where you can set in the CK. It's called simple actors, and they're just meant to be like that, like injured patients and stuff. What is the basic mod list for SS2 now? That would be HUD framework, workshop framework, SS2, and the chapters. That would be the most basic list. That is, and you can toss in extended and F4SE DLLs and even Workshop Plus, and I'd still call that a basic mod list. Like, that's one I can easily test your saves with, if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, there were a handful. We found about 10 minor characters and holotapes that just never got recorded for Chapter 3, and we just kept assuming that they were going to get put in, and so we kept telling the testers, don't report them. We know the audio is coming, because we were literally getting audio turned in right up to the day of release, and then just some of them slipped through the cracks. Okay, so now we're going to try doing the radio call again. Let's see what happens here.
It's Aiden. We need you back at HQ.
Hey, there it is. So something funky with that AI package on the player didn't work.
I'll be right there.
What's weird is I've seen many people go through this no problem, so I don't know what would cause it to suddenly decide to not work today. But there we go. All set. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. And I don't know if that's a thing that will only happen in existing saves or what. But there you go. So that's how it would start. If you also hadn't finished C to Glowing C, or if you had started remote management and didn't finish it, that could also cause Chapter 3 to get delayed. Remote management and C to Glowing C are technically optional quests, but because they can interfere with the start of Chapter 3, we either need them to not be running, or you'd already be finished with them. Alright, so there's our nice little fix for Jay. So we'll say fix debug where Aiden's radio call could get stuck at the start of the quest. Flickering lights. That's a good one to have fixed. This is the very first quest. Alright, let's see here. Let's do some more chat. Alan Q64, quest to get the judge didn't show, and even though she's at CBD, I still get asked by the brother to go and talk with her. Any fix, or do I need to reload another save? So we say this about the CPD, is the CPD is going to get all of its dialogue trees totally redone at some point, because they're so hard to pull apart, because the person who did them was coming from a Fallout 3 / New Vegas modding background, and so now generally it's myself and Sagittarius take care of the bug fixes for everything, and we have so much trouble with CPD. We've kind of decided that if you get stuck on something, we don't know how to fix it now. Like it's too hard for us to detangle. So I would say try rolling back. Ask the community. People who've played it a lot will know how to get through those without issue. But I do not have any advice there. I just know that it's on our docket for like we're gonna just go rebuild the dialogue tree from scratch to get rid of these bugs and make it easier for us to fix stuff in the future. Nonye, thank you. I'm going to try that. One more thing. I am past the part where old Paul passes, but it's still giving me the option to make him a leader. Oh, interesting. I thought I fixed that ages ago. But yeah, obviously, if you make him a leader, that's not going to work out for you. So, Braytech should also mention that the gunner radio activates by itself during martial law, and no options come up after Berman finishes his dialogue. The gunner radio activates by itself during martial law. I mean, it activating by itself makes sense because whenever we have greetings set up, they can trigger themselves. That I don't find too problematic because we kind of want to just keep the quest going. No options come up after Berman finishes his dialogue. That's problematic. All right, let me think what quest that's going to be. Let's see. All right, character quest. So that is Dark Horizons, right? That's the one that you're in the vault with. Let's go scenes. No, that's not it. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Which quest is that? Martial law? Yep, there it is. Martial law. Okay. So after Berman finishes talking... Okay, I'll need some more information, Braytech, if you can give me specifically like what's the last thing he said or something. This is such a complex quest, it's going to take me a minute to figure out what you're talking about. But I can put it down as a note of like, what did we say this quest was? Martial law. Martial law radio call. But that might be one I'm going to need someone to reproduce for me to do anything about that. Let's see here. Homeland Desert Fox had gotten to the BOS mission where I got to the Pridwind, and when I get there, Maximum and the Captain of the Pridwind didn't spawn into the game, and I couldn't get them to load in. So rest in peace. Yeah, that's not a good thing. That is not us. We do not touch any vanilla quests. Like everything we do related to vanilla, we actually do it from outside. So we will like set up our own little dialogue trees, and we just react to stuff you do in the game, but we never edit it. So gotta figure out which mod in your load order caused something like that to happen. Let's see. Guardian F, there's a number of users who can't find the locket, the one that Blake Abernathy wants in the original location of Station Olivia. All I can tell you is we don't ever mess with that. We do not mess with that locket. We don't delete it. We don't reference it in any way. Like it's not anywhere touched by some settlements. So I don't know why that happens for some folks, but all I can say is we don't mess with it. And that's why, like, this is why we try not to edit anything vanilla, because the number of things that suddenly we'd be responsible for all of a sudden would get so bad, like we just wouldn't be able to function. Like we would just never be, I would never be able to, I'd never be able to work on anything. I would just be like perpetually trying to fix things we broke in the base game. So we have a hard rule of like, there's no editing vanilla records. Let's see, which one is the Abernathy locket? I don't actually know is it this one? Min Recruit 03 locket? Let's see, use info. Trying to see how this basic quest is set up here. It gets created in the container. So my only guess would be that this quest isn't starting for you for some reason. So you gotta do, you can run, you would run this. You do SQV min recruit 3 and see if it's running. So for me it's not, because this is an old save, but that would be the only reason I could see why that locket wouldn't exist there. Something prevented this quest from starting. Let's see, what are the any workshop, unowned workshop? Those are optional, so those don't matter. The location, it allowed reserved, and it reserves the location. Interesting. So there's nothing there that could stop it. If there was no workshop, it could stop it. What is it looking for in the workshops? Let's see, any workshop. So my bet is that the quest isn't starting. That would be probably why you're not seeing it. So then the next question is, why isn't it starting? Okay, so it's got all these checks and requirements it's looking for. Actually, is the dialogue from Abernathy on this? Yeah, it looks like the dialogue for the Abernathys is on this quest. So did you get the dialogue from the Abernathys saying that that they're after the locket? Because if you don't get that dialogue, that's a very good chance that the quest didn't start up for whatever reason. I actually don't know what starts this quest, but that is what I would guess is going on. Mr. EQBM, I just installed the SimSettlements 3 combined pack along with the new version of Workshop Framework. The game works fine, but every time I log in, I get an error from Workshop Framework. So that error from Workshop Framework is telling you that at some point in your save's life, you either uninstalled a mod, switched a mod over to an ESL, which is the same thing as uninstalling a mod. I know some people will switch their mods to like ESL flagged ESPs thinking that that's safe, and it's actually not. That's the same thing as uninstalling a mod and installing a new mod. Or someone deleted a workshop from their mod. So that is unsafe, and your Workshop Framework is warning you that your save is not going to work correctly with settlement mechanics. So you are welcome to continue, but you probably shouldn't with that save if you want to do settlement stuff. The music fan, if I start the Abernathy quest when Jake suggests we visit the farm, the locket is not at Olivia. Yeah, I think it's the same thing that I said to Guardian, is you need to check if that min recruit 03 is running. I don't know what exactly starts that. I'll have to, I mean, I could dig into that. I assume that this is one of those things that it's tied to Preston in some way. And maybe we need to condition our Jake dialogue to check on that min recruit thing so that it doesn't even get mentioned. But yeah, that locket is created by the quest min recruit 03, which has to do with Preston. So maybe that's the issue, is maybe if you are skipping Preston or something. I'm just guessing here because it's all vanilla stuff. Lucian Kane, totally off subject here, but did you guys finally move the fast travel location for Red Rocket outside of the bus for the RTC city plan? No, the chances of us updating the RTC city plans are very, very slim. So if you are finding them to be problematic, then you'll want to probably find community plans to use instead. The updating our city plans is very, very challenging because we don't have a good way to update existing city plans, and we don't necessarily have all the original save files anymore. So, and even if we did, they would have to be loaded up with very old versions of the mod. So it's a very big challenge to edit those. Jeremy Tunkin, any thought working with scrapped everything inside HQ? I would not recommend that at all. You could create holes in the wall or floors, and the whole place would just fall apart. So I don't recommend doing that. It's not the brown face bug wartime camo. All right, let's see here. I think. Oh, I got another chat jump. All right, let's see here. Okay. Godchild, make it so we can recruit every faction. That would be epic. We have some more stuff coming post launch that will have to do with recruiting people. So, but still a little ways to go on that stuff. The soonest we will get additional story content will be probably like, I would guess November, because everybody on the team is taking time off to play Starfield in September, and then we'll start production again. Because right now we're just kind of all fixing stuff, so nobody's even working on any additional content. So the earliest people would even start working on stuff again will be in, that's not patch related, or that's not fix related, would be in October. When will we romance Jake? I mean that's already in the mod, as far as like if you're looking for like the lovers scene or whatever. I just have to figure out how to rig that up. I don't know how that stuff works, and we've not really dove into it, but we already gave you the options a couple of times in chapter 1 and 2 to flirt, so that's already in. Prince Jason, I believe they mean the thing behind the mic is making them sick. Oh, that was from during when we were watching that one part of the video? Okay. Somber, I had the issue where chapter 3 never starts. Well, hopefully what I just showed you will help. The Doctor, will any of the Far Harbor or Nuka World factions become allies in the future? There's no plan for it right now. But we'll see what happens. We have a big list of things we want to get in first. Like we have a target list of content we're going to create, features we're going to add, and then after we do that, we'll see how everybody's feeling. Because if there's if like the Starfield tools come out right away and we all love that game, maybe we'll be wanting to move to that. I don't know yet. So we have a pretty good size feature list, but I know right now we're not messing with Far Harbor or Nuka World because of technical difficulties. We opted not to get involved with those a long time ago, and so that's just kind of been how we've been operating. So we haven't even made any plans regarding those. Jeremy Duncan, I'm very OCD. Is there a clean and rebuilt HQ mods I could use with Sims, or even all the city plans as well? No, there's not really any clean versions. Somebody could make that, but we haven't seen, there's not a ton of options for HQ add-ons yet. Godchild, I did not side with the Brotherhood, but I here for the Brotherhood while in battle. I don't know what that means. Sato 404, after the final scene, Commonwealth Rising dialogue with the department heads about gunners not always trigger. I wasn't able to trigger Teresa's, for example.
Oh yeah!
Oh, like their commentary after the fact. I think, let me check hers. I remember doing something with that to avoid a problem. Let me see. Because all the HQ department heads have like a little conversation after you complete the after you complete chapter 2. They have like commentary on it. Let me check Teresa's. I wonder if it got buried. Yeah, it looks like it got buried down incorrectly in the stack, so that's why hers isn't working. So that's actually an easy fix here. So let me just reorganize this a little bit. So this needs to be up at the top of the tree. And then we look at our... I wonder if somebody accidentally moved it in our Chapter 3 plugin and it's overwriting this. I'll have to check on that too. Sometimes we accidentally edit in the wrong plugin. Speech is enabled, turned off by chapter 3. So that's another thing, is we have these, there's a point, I don't remember when this gets set. Let me check if I can find that. At some point we disable those speeches because it's after a certain point, it's like, it's awkward if you hear them. Let's see, we'll do speeches and see if that's what I called this variable here. No. Let's see. Where is that getting set? Oh, I guess I should look at, let's see. Let's go in here, go speeches. And I still have that list of the bugs I wrote down from earlier, guys, so we will get to those as well. Use info. It's turned off by MQ28. So once Flicker and Lights starts up, it shuts down those speeches. But I think Teresa's was just, it was put incorrectly in the stack, and so it wasn't accessible. So let me make sure it's set on the radio loop as well. Actually, I don't know if she says it on the radio or not. Let's check. I guess it wouldn't make a lot of sense for her to say it to you over the radio. So there it goes. So that should resolve it for Teresa. So there we go. We'll actually, let's exit out of the game so we can actually save. All right, and we'll go ahead and put that minor fix. But is there any side, or were there anybody else's that weren't working, or was it just Teresa's? So would not mention the radio call with the gunners at the end of Commonwealth Rising. All right, let's see here. Man, you guys are going nuts on the chat. I am so far behind. I'm half an hour behind. I have timestamps up. That's one of the things I like about this new thing is it shows all the timestamps, whereas YouTube's default chat seems to do it occasionally. Nick Carter, can the autosaves made during assaults be disabled via console commands? That is a good question. Let me check. Because that's actually handled, I believe, by request autosave. I think that's handled by Workshop Framework. Let's see, request autosave. Oh no, that is handled by Conquest Manager. No, but I can make it. So, so I'll just put that on my list, my to-do request list. Option to disable pre-assault autosaves. All right, put that on my list. All right, I think I'm never going to catch up to chat, so let's just start fixing some stuff here. So let's see. Aiden and Sal in internal affairs can. I don't remember what it was about that, but I'm sure I'll see it once I get to it. So let's go to internal affairs. I think it was it was if they get into combat, it breaks. So let's resolve that. So we've got Aiden and Sal preamble here. Add active behavior. It ends. We'll just switch that to pause. We'll turn off pause here. Make sure that there's a loop on it. There is. All right. All right. And then let's go check make sure that this has a greeting so the person can get back into the store, into the quest. All right. So Sal scene complete equals 0. Target is Aiden. Subject is player. Okay. So should be able to talk to them to restart it. It was just probably this. So I guess what we'll do is, so that this is one of the things that gets more difficult about post-launch versus when we're in alpha. Once we get to post-launch, then we have to put in these little things. So anytime we do a patch to fix something, we have to assume that somebody who is playing the mod currently and reported it is having that problem and needs help. So we're going to assume that anybody who has this quest running and they haven't completed this first stage, that we need to reboot that scene for them. So let's go to here, and we're going to define a int I version 300J equals, what version are we up to on patch notes? We're up to version 110. So we have a different version internally because we can't really count letters and stuff, so we have to at the software level there's a slightly different version. So we do if I installed, what is this, I last installed version is less than I version 300J, we're going to do the thing. So we're going to say if not get stage done, and then we're going to see, let's check. What do we need to do again here? So we need to make sure that this scene is running. So set active Aiden Sal setup scene. So we'll just reboot this scene so that way Worst case scenario, like at least the scene will start up again and those two will go back to their positions. And I guess we should also go ahead and move them into position too. So we'll go ahead and rerun this code as well. And we're not going to worry about detection LOS. We'll just say this is a patch. It's only going to happen one time. So let's go ahead and make sure that that's going to work good. All right, and we need Salvador ref. Salvador. Okay, so in theory, as soon as you install this next patch, it should reboot that scene for you. I don't remember who that was, but we'll mark that one off as fixed. And internal affairs. So let's compile that script real quick. Wait, what is this? Action sheath is not a property. Oh, what's this? 3134. We got a little bug from when I was compiling something off screen here. So let's fix that and then we'll compile SAO2. So 3134. I got it. Okay. So I need to do this. Go back to here. Actually, what is this from? Yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, so we will now recompile you. Oh yeah, I could put this in there too. Skipping the quest runners and gunners with the cheat system will now correctly unlock the SS2 hijacked version of Vault 75. And I should patch that too while we're talking about it. So, but let's make sure we get this thing compiled and we'll put that other note in before I get distracted too far. So we need to do SAO2, compile, make sure I don't make any mistakes. Cool. We've got some sort of edit I need to save here. And all right, so now we're going to go into the, let's see, I went hijack. Let's see here. We need to hijack Vault 75. So we're going to do, we'll do another, is it install? Here we go. All right, so we're going to do another patch here. So we're going to go 300J equals 110. If I install version is less than 300J. If main quests MQ16.is completed. We're going to go ahead and just hijack it again just to make sure. So that way people who are trying to do the quest Sympathy for the Devil on a skipped save will be able to do so. Put a note in for myself previously. When skipping this quest, the hijack would not unlock. All right, so now whoever reported that, I apologize I didn't write down names with these. You should find that when you load up the next patch, 300J, oops, wrong screen here, that it should hijack Vault 75 immediately and unlock that intercom. All right, let's see. I was going to check Olivia. We already did that, so I can cross that off my list. Remove me in the hangar. Let's find the remove me action. So we're going to go to our activators here. We're going to search for hangar, sort by name, and try and find our remove me. Here we go. So what is this? This is maintenance corridor Serenity. And we also need to check and make sure that I have HQ actions missing. Okay, cool. So this is, we need to do, so those can be deleted, and then I need to find the ones that are pointing at them. So we'll try doing this under constructible objects. And make sure these are pointing at the same thing. I don't want to delete something in your guys' saves that's going to cause a problem. These should be safe to delete. Most of the time we don't delete things once it's in your save, because it can cause breakage, but because you can't save in workshop mode, these are going to be safe to delete. So let's see here, make sure that this is the exact one. Maintenance quarter, Serenity, AC1. AC1, cool. So we can delete you. Delete all 3 of these guys. And then we are, because these are buildable, we actually are not going to delete these. We're just going to mark them obsolete. Obsolete. Because you could actually, in your save, you could have one of these still in there. All right, so that should take care of those buildable records are gone. So, and actually, I know we have an open ticket on this. So let's go ahead and clean up Git here. So we'll do remove me and see if that comes up as an issue. Nope. Let's see. Hanger. Issues, hallway access, blah, blah, blah. Remove me is still present. Here we go. So we can fixed for 3.0.0J. Close. All right, one less issue on the tracker. That'll feel nice. Okay, done. Hostile takeover, immortal gunners. Okay, that one's going to be tricky. So, originally, when we set up the hostile takeover in Chapter 2, I was still in the process of working on all the code for Chapter 3 mechanics. So that included like our assault system. So because I didn't have time to finish it before we were ready to launch Chapter 2, I had to like just gut part of Chapter 2 or take part of Chapter 3's code and I stuck it in Chapter 2. So there's some redundant code in there, and that's what runs hostile takeover, and that's why they look kind of similar to what happens in Chapter 3. So the question will be, did we change something in C3 that would impact that system? So let's start digging in here. Let's look at settlement raids. Trigger raid. Setting up attackers. All right, so I got to figure out where are these attackers coming from. So that's done on Assault Manager. What are we sending it? We're sending it a faction. We're sending an attacker form. Okay, so maybe it's our attacker form is the problem. So we need to look at attacker form equals. And let's see what we're doing with that. Attacking unit. Okay, so let's look up QRaid. What is this function doing? QRaid, West Gunner faction, West attacker form. All right, so let's check out what this West attacker form is and see if there's something about that attacker form that got screwy. So let's do MQ master, C2. All right, it's coming down here, West. I'm guessing I have a separate section of these just for the attacks. Yeah, West attacker form. Let's see if we edited anything with this. So, level gunner, okay. West fac. Whoever posted this, I think it was Braytac, or if anyone else has experienced this, where you have essential immortal gunners happening during hostile takeover in that period before you finish end of the beginning. Is it all of them, or is it just some of them? Anybody know? Because that'll change where I look. So we're going to first make sure that somebody didn't accidentally flag essential here. They did not. Good. So then we'll go check and make sure we don't have a dirty edit to this in the Chapter 3. Actually, let's check our templates too. Maybe we templated something in Chapter 1 that got changed. We couldn't have templated anything in Chapter 3 because this does not, that would be a circular list and that's not possible. So it looks like we're doing all vanilla. So I don't think it's going to turn out to be this record unless we change something with it in C3, which I can't imagine we would have. But let's just double check. We'll check that it's not essential, and we'll check we didn't mess with the templates. Come on, CK, you can do it. There we go. All right, we've got all the same templates still, and we don't have essential checked in. So it's not the actor record, which means it's going to be something to do with our little micro assault system, assuming that everybody can replicate this. If this is a one-off happening to one person, then it might be a mod conflict, but so let me mark my place in chat and I'll scroll down and see what you guys are saying. So we were left off at around 9:31. So let's go down all the way to the present. Just some of them, it was hard to tell as there were a lot of gunners and BOS soldiers. Was the airport settlement. So does anybody else having this issue with some of the gunners being immortal during hostile takeover? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Is that something that's universal, or is there a possibility of a mod conflict here? Are you using a full load order, Braytech? Or are you just using a couple mods? Because I might be able to look at one of your saves if you're just using... I would say, guys, when I ask for clean saves, the ideal ones are just SS2 stuff or mods that I've worked on because I have them all. It's easy to install. And then saves that I can look at for potential usefulness are like if you're playing with less than 50 mods, because then the game will still load them. But once you get into giant load orders, like several hundred, the game will just tell me the save's corrupt if I try and open it. Oh, if that's, Braytech, if that's how you got it, could you get to a point where that's happening, like where you're in the middle of a battle with that, and then upload the save to like a Google Drive or whatever, and then DM me a link to it on the forums, or if you are on any of our Discords, and send it to me there. But if you're on just with some QL mods, I'll be able to open your save and I can look at it. So we'll put a pin in this one because this is going to be tough to troubleshoot without a sample. All right, let's see here. Lip sync for final lines in Commonwealth Rising. Okay, that should be easy. So the hard part is going to be digging up the actual audio files. Oops, I need MQ27. All right, now I'm going to scroll back through chat to where I was because I would like to not skip any. Oh, no, this new chat client also eats chat. So I lost some messages between 9:31 and 9:37. Okay, I think I'm literally going to write my own chat app soon for YouTube because I can't find one. No one seems to create one that just like, let's check. Because I don't think most streamers do this. I think most streamers are like, good, let that old chat die because I don't have time to keep up with it. But I like to answer all you guys' questions if I can. All right, so we're going to circle this one. Hostile takeover, waiting on Braytech. So if I don't hear from you tonight via messages somewhere, I might DM you tomorrow if I can find your username. I'm assuming you have the same username on our forums, but maybe not. All right, lip sync for finalizing Commonwealth Rising. All right, so what we did in Commonwealth Rising in chapter 2, we did this like little animation we would play where it was like the camera was like panning up through the roof, and it was kind of to give it this kind of like final moment feeling, like, you know, anything could happen there, and you were waiting to see what would happen, trying to give it a feel like some time passed, and there was some sort of cliffhanger there. And then now that we have chapter 3 available, that made less sense, so we ended up repurposing that animation for the end of chapter 3's story. And when we did it in chapter 2, before chapter 3 was out, we would play your selection when the camera reached the apex, so that it was kind of like more voiceover than actually your character speaking it. And again, that didn't make any sense, so we have to have 2 copies of this now. We have the one for people who don't have chapter 3 installed, which plays like it used to, and then we have this one for people who do have chapter 3 installed. And now for some reason the lip syncing isn't there, so I got to figure out why. So we can check in has lip file. That'll be our first step. Lip file. I think this is all it's going to be, is has lip file needs to be checked in, because if you uncheck this, they won't move their lips. I found that out during development of some Chapter 3 stuff. We did some like tricks where we make it seem like there's a character talking through Jake's Pip-Boy, and it's actually just coming out of Jake, and so we had to turn off lip sync. So I'm going to flag that as that's probably correct, and because I don't want to, you saw how long it took us to play through that ending of Chapter 2. I don't want to do that again right now. And that took too long. So let's go. Next one on my list is Xbox missing audio for Jake around Edmund. So I think that's quest 5 or 6. So let's go MQ, character, quest. I think it's the start of well. So at quest 6. So at some point we had added in this extra scenes here. We've got this Alt C2A admin intro. And I don't know how many of these made it in, so we're just going to try and find these and check. So I'm going to open up my Xbox archives. And we'll start searching for these lines. So you're going to see why it didn't happen when you sent me the video initially, because it's kind of slow. So the first thing we got to do is open up each of these lines and find their file names, and then we got to search inside the archive and see if they're in there. And then if we do find them in there, okay, good, that one's in there. So I think it must have been the next part of this conversation. I think it's when you ask him about, yeah, this. I think these are the lines that we're missing. So I think it's just, hopefully it's just these 3 lines. Let's find out though. Yep, there's one. All right, so now we need to find it in SS2 and hope that the files will work the same. I think the audio, the voice files should be good to use the same without any extra compression. So I'm going to just take a gamble because it's not going to be any worse than what you got. A worst case scenario, this just leaves them, they're still silent. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to set up a temporary directory here on my other screen that I can export these to. And we're going to go, so just so I don't get confused here, this left will be Xbox, right will be the PC, and there's one of them. So we'll extract this to our folder here. There we go. All right, so now we just need to keep doing that. Let's find the next one. I think these are just going to be the same names, _1, _2. So let's see, it is here. Actually, let's double check. Is it missing in the Xbox? Yep. Extract selected, select there, and 3. There it is in the PC version, and it is missing from the Xbox version. Okay, now let's check. Let's see, who was that? We'll go ahead and check this as well, just to make sure. I'm pretty sure it was just those 3, but we'll check Xbox for this one. Okay, cool. So for now, we'll assume it's those 3 if I get to chat and it turns out there were more missing. All right, so now, in theory, if I do this, let's go back to one of those lines again. I didn't save it on my clipboard. And now just drag and dropping that. In theory, that will have restored those to Xbox. So what it'll be, if this doesn't work, then the solution is going to be much more difficult. I'm going to have to go find the original audio files, the WAV files, wherever they are, and regenerate new views for Xbox, but I don't think I have to, so I should be good here. So we will, so those are those, and I think it was 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so we have got our Xbox archive updated. So we're going to put in the notes, what quest is this called? Patch notes. And we'll do Xbox restored several missing dialogue lines for Jake during the quest. Well. Oop. I guess it has an exclamation point, but I don't like the way that looks next to a period, so we're going to get rid of it. Okay, so that should be good there. All right, so that's the end of that note card. Let's go to the next one. Martial law radio call. Okay, so this one, I think we're going to need to try and get in game and replicate. This is going to be a tough one, but let me check. Let's see if somebody already reported this, because some people were doing regression testing to see if Chapter 2 still played okay. So they would have run into that. So we'll search for Berman He's in 16 issues. Okay, nothing about him in that quest. So now we'll search for that quest name. Let's see, what was that quest? It was martial law. Martial law, peace of mind bugs. But that's got to check, which means somebody fixed it. So that's not in there. Okay, so we have no reports of this. So let me see if I've got a save that's close to there, because doing a skip through all of that's going to be just going to take a while. So give me a second here. Let's see, documents, my games, Fallout 4, saves. What do we got here? I just need one that's like chapter 1 complete. Sometimes I make those and just hang on to them. I've got a chapter 2 complete. Let's see, and at one point I purged my save file folder back in July because it was getting absurd. So let's see. Nothing in that folder. All right, let's check another folder here. Let's see, backups. I have so many saves. Oh. Looks like the last time I did a purge before that was in December. I guess I could have one from back then. Nope. Alright, then let me check our team drive. Let me do this on my other monitor. See if I put one up there. So I know I've done this many times where I've just like run the cheat command. I'm like, oh, I should back that save up because it might be useful to be able to skip right to a chapter with a save file for testing. All right, let's see. So I've got a saves folder here. There's C2 complete from clean. No C1. Let's try searching that. C1 complete. Nope. All right, I guess I should search my own computer for such a thing. Let's close this out. Go back here. Search this giant save directory. Search with Ultra Search. If you guys have never used Ultra Search, this program is awesome. I actually think I don't even think they offer a free version anymore. I've just been holding on to this, but it does such a much better job of searching your computer for stuff than Windows does. And you can even search by like the contents of text files and stuff. I love this program. All right, nothing with C1 complete in the name. How about just C1? Let's see, I've got a zip file called C1 and C2 saves beta 23. Oh man, when is this from? 2021. No, this is ancient. There's no way that's going to still be useful. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and pop open the game and we'll start a cheat command, and then while that's running, I'll go back to chat and find the next squad of bugs. And hopefully we can and we can hit this run into this issue. I know there's been a lot of people reporting random issues with that scene. It was super complicated to set up. I actually have it on my to-do list at one point. I'm going to go through and redo all of our scenes with mini characters. I'm sure you guys have seen it happen sometimes where you get like little miniature NPCs that are supposed to be invisible. That is what we use for radio calls, because there's a bug in the base game. There's a thing called radio, what is it called? Talking activators. There's a system called talking activators in the game. And they let you basically turn like radios and like random items that are not people into characters. The problem is they don't work with others in a scene. Like they only work by themselves, and we didn't know that. And so we originally went through and set up a lot of quests like that with these, and they can kind of work, but as soon as they're just super finicky. So then we found out, well, the what makes it less finicky are little shrunk down tiny actors. But the problem with those is, for some people, we don't know why, the setting to make them invisible just doesn't work. So I've seen tons of videos of like little mini Bermans, and I even saw like Juicehead's video on chapter 3 has a mini mini Lamont, and it's so cringy that happens. So we had a similar thing come up of like a vanilla thing that we expected to work for everyone doesn't, and that is our check to see if an actor is dead. So for a lot of people who killed Berman in chapter 2 are finding him resurrected magically in chapter 3, because apparently there's a function called get dead, which is supposed to tell us if a unique actor has deceased. It isn't reliable. Can fail. So we have to like create a whole new situation, whole new system for detecting whether people killed somebody. It's kind of frustrating, but we'll get there eventually. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to, I need to wait a couple minutes before I start messing with holotape, because this is a clean save that hasn't had SS2 boot up. So we're going to let this just run for a minute, and I'll start going through some chat, and then we'll start up the triggers here. Deep dive game area, all quests required, and in I used CCSQS to see if it was started. It was not. Yeah, it won't. It starts up. It's supposed to start up 48 hours after. The only thing I can think of that would prevent it from starting then, I mean, you could just console command start it. I don't know, like you can see, I showed it's definitely fixed in the current build. I don't know if maybe something happened in your version. The other thing we can check, this is something else on my to-do list. I guess we can start it tonight. So there's a thing we use a lot in quests called aliases. And what aliases do is let us reference something in the game without it having to be in memory in perpetuity. So that way, because if every single thing that quests had to use had to stay in memory all the time, your game would just run like crap, especially on consoles. So we use these aliases. Now the problem is if we alias something in the base game that gets edited by some other mod, it can break our quests. So we tend to, if we alias anything in the base game, we make it optional, but sometimes we forget to do that. And so that can stop a quest from starting. So I'm going to check on that. Make sure we're not referencing anything vanilla. Looks like the only thing we're referencing that's not in the plugin is the door in chapter 2, so that should be fine. So then the next thing we can watch out for is if something disabled one of our NPCs, we got to be able to work with the allowed disabled, which is the AL flag over here, which we've already got on all of our NPCs, so we should be good there. I guess we can add it to the companion, although they're optional already, so it should be fine, but we'll go ahead and add the flag. Let's Control-Shift-D, there we go. Let's see here. We've got allowed disabled there. Make sure any of our actors have allowed disabled and optional flagged. So yeah, there's nothing that should stop that. So in theory, deep dive, if you just run start quest SS2C3 MQ20 underscore MQ28, should be good to go. I could not tell you why it didn't work in yours. Like I just showed it does work in a save that has all that stuff complete. So I think I'm gonna need if it doesn't work when you run start quest, then there's something preventing the start quest from starting, and then that would make sense why you had that. But if it does just start when you run it, then I haven't the foggiest clue why it wouldn't have worked for you. And then it's just going to require reproduction steps, which is always a challenge. But if your save is minimal load, I can look at it. And I think it was, because you were DMing me about it. Okay, that should be enough time passed in-game where we can start the cheat commands. So we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a holotape. And then we'll start running that. We'll just let it. Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make the save I was just hoping to find. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to save here. We're going to go into our plugins list, and we're going to disable everything but the bare minimum here. So we're going to disable even extended and HUD framework. We'll just leave these two. I'm going to load that save, and I'm going to skip to the end of chapter 1 with just this. Like, this is the cleanest possible end of chapter 1 save I could have. And then I can load up the other chapters and continue skipping from there. And that way I have this as a baseline I can use in the future. This will just be useful. And it'll take roughly the same amount of time. Alright, so we need to go back down here again at the bottom of these saves. I really should purge this directory again. Alright, so now we get to wait some more. But that's all right, you guys got lots of chat for me to catch up on. Let's see. T Trey 208. Speaking of martial law, when I played through it today, the sole survivor was stuck looking at the ceiling during the entire radio conversation. Okay, well, we're about to play through it again, so hopefully we can replicate and fix. I was able to skip it. There's no real game-changing options, so no biggie, just a tad annoying. I mean, I would like to. I would like to fix it. So if we can replicate it, awesome. But maybe we'll end up doing that because that's the next quest right after martial law, right? Is the hostile takeover. So maybe we'll be able to build on that from here. Let's see. Let's throw that note card away. That one's full and complete. Not crazy. Request for a faction name choice of Old Paul's Revenge. So I mentioned this earlier, but you guys, any add-on pack author who's released content, especially people who have done like the naming stuff, like pet names, you guys have the skills to make more faction names. Just note that Jake and some other characters will not be speaking your name. Guardian MF. The weird thing about the locket is that it can always be found in the SS2 version of the location. That's odd. That's very odd. Because the SS2 version of the location. Yeah, that's very odd. So the I bet that's what it is. Guardian, I think you just solved the problem for me. I think I know what it is. Okay, give me a second. So let's go to the SS2 version. I bet that it's getting created in a container that's looking for a location ref type, and we accidentally, because we cloned the cell, it's probably that way in our cell. You're a genius, Guardian. Let's see here. Where is that at? USAF. Let's see if this is the solution. I bet there are some location ref type stuff in here. We need to get rid of them. Alright, so first I gotta figure out where the heck is that thing hidden. I think it's at the end, right? It's like in the boss chest, wherever that is. Alright, there's a lot going on here. Alright, but I don't remember where the boss chest is. I thought it was in here. I guess I can search for that. Let's go boss. There we go. Is this thing flagged as a location ref type? Let's see. Location ref type. No, it's not that. Okay, so that's not it. So let's look at Min Recruit 03 again. And see where is it trying to put the locket? So it is looking at ref type autofill generic 01. Okay, so let's see if we have an autofill generic 01 in here. Is it on our boss, maybe? Edit. Yeah, that's it. So I think it's probably because we have these in here, we need to delete these. The problem is then that will, for existing saves, that's going to cause a problem, so we can't delete. So what we do instead is we're going to turn off their location ref types. So we'll get rid of this. We will get rid of this. And then, let's see, what's the next thing we'll do? So we'll get rid of the location ref type so that they can't be caught. But we also don't want the player finding the same boss again. So, let's see. So we have a little trick we can do to make it so that, let's see. Turn off those. This boss reset marker. This, we're going to disconnect anything that's attached to it. Let's see. It's in the toolbox next to the door. Thank you, Canuck, and thank you for the donation. Oh, I also missed a super chat from Z Games earlier. Sorry about that. Be cool to see a settlement merchant in Starfield named kinggath or something like that to sell schematics. Thank you for the donation, and apologies for missing that one. I think when I heard the Ron earlier, I was just like, oh, that's a sub. I can keep talking or doing whatever I was doing at the moment, but thank you so much. But I would be shocked if there are any references to any modders in Starfield. That would be very shocking. Let's see here. All right, so let's do select enable state children. And we're going to do, okay, so it's just those two. So we're going to turn off enable states on those. None. So we have a little trick where we can, wait a second, what's going on here? Does this have no children now? Let's see, select. Okay, good. No children left. So this thing should, let's make sure it doesn't have a ref type on it. I don't think it will. Nope, good. Okay, so what we can do here with these to make sure that they go away forever is we're going to put them under the world. And what are you guys linked to? Let's see. Linked ref. Oh, hold position. Okay, we'll get rid of their AI package stuff. Okay. And then we are going to link them to enable parent. We're going to enable the linked them opposite of the player because the player can never be disabled. And then this is the equivalent of, this is the closest we can get to deleting something without it breaking a save. So we need to go to any cell. Nope, not none. We want any cell. And then select player. We'll do that. And then we will set them to disabled. And now, because somebody's locket's going to be lost, so now we have to do a little patch for this to make sure that the locket gets moved if it got put in this cell. So first of all, this, I don't like that that still looks like there's a location ref type on it. Where is location ref type? Okay. All right, so let me think about the best way to do this is going to be. Oh, I know how we'll do it. We'll do. We're going to go to the vanilla cell. And we're going to find, let's see here. All right, we need to find that container. And actually, I should need to go back. There's probably still one of those. So autofill generic for our location. Where is that at? Location ref type, autofill generic 01, use info. This is going to be a big mess, but let's sort by location here. All right, so let's first go find it in our location. So SS2, C3. Okay, so there isn't one in here. Okay, so that's odd, because I think we only had the boss. So based on this, it's not even detecting our location as a possibility. So that theory is starting to go out the window. I mean, we still need to fix this other. We don't want to have location ref types that could get caught. So let's see here. This is going to container autofill generic 01. Autofill generic 01 in USAF. Yeah, see, it is finding one. See, it says this one right here. I don't know why it's not showing up in there, but okay. So here it is in our cell. Right there. So we need to get rid of that location ref type. There we go. And I wish there was an easier way to find the these location ref types in here. Let's see. Is there another way I can do this? Okay, not a good way to find these, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to just rely on reports. So this is a new avenue where I never thought to check for like unintended conflicts of these in our clone cells of things that have the ref type. Okay, well that should be there. So now we just need to create our patch. So at least we found it, so it won't happen again. So now we'll put it on MQ Master C3 because this would only happen with C3 because that's where we added this clone. So we're gonna do a quest here. We're gonna do, actually, do we have a patches section? Because we should probably create one here. Yep, patches. Okay, so we got quest, property, min recruit 03, auto const mandatory. And then we're going to do object reference, property. So we need USAF container ref. And we'll just put a reference directly to the container it's meant to be, and then we will just grab it and move it over there. So let's see if we can even do that. Let's look at min recruit 03 and see if there's a script property we can grab, or if we need to reference the alias directly. Let's see, look at you. Aliases, is there any mention of the locket in here? No, it does not look like it. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this as we actually we only need the quest so we can check if it's done or not. And then we'll do reference alias, min recruit 03, what was that called? Aliases, it's just called locket. So we'll do min recruit 03 locket. And we'll just call it alias. All right, so we're gonna need these three things here. Let's go to our patch code, install mod changes, and we need a J, 110. If I installed version is less than I hotfix J version, if min recruit 03 dot is running and not min recruit 03 dot is completed. Actually, does that quest, that doesn't even get completed? I should check that first. Let's see. Finish quest fail, locket retrieved, quest success, doesn't necessarily complete it. So I guess we'll just look at, is stage 200 done? Because then that means they grabbed the locket, right? Let's check the alias here. Did not expect to be messing with vanilla quests tonight, or even looking at them. Okay, so some sort of completion state we need to test for, and then we'll do, let's see, what are we gonna do here? We're gonna go min recruit locket alias dot get ref, so object reference k locket ref equals that. If k locket ref does not equal none. Oh, and we also don't want to just steal it from the player if they happen to have it, so we need to do k locket ref dot get container. I think that's a function. Let's check and see if I've used that anywhere. Get container, yep. Dot get container does not equal player ref, because if it's in the player's inventory, we don't want to steal it from them. And then we'll do USAF container ref dot add item k locket ref. And actually, we need to do one more check. If there's a mod that edits that container, that will also break it. So we'll do ASF container ref does not equal none. And if it does equal none, I guess we can just, the best thing to do here would be probably just put it in the player's inventory. So it should be pretty rare that you have a mod that messed with that container. So I don't think this will happen to most people, but just in case, at least this is better than losing it altogether. Because I guess if a mod edited this, you wouldn't have been able to complete the quest anyway. So, so we hopefully just resolved that if that's the case. Okay, so that should do it. So now it's just a matter of finding out what the completion state is. What happens when you loot it here? Min recruit 03. Oh, it's got like a special quest handling. Set stage 200. Okay. So we can do that as our fallback. We'll just check and see if 200 is done on that or not. So we'll do and not get stage done 200. Alright, so then in theory, this should, and we don't want to save any of that. We don't want to edit that. We should be able to set these properties on here and we'll be good. So let's go ahead and while we're waiting for that to compile, let's go ahead and start our cheat skipping here. Alright, so we need our holotape. Alright, we don't care about any of that. Tools, cheats, quest skipping, skip to specific main quest. Okay, alright, and we'll skip right to the end there, and then that's just going to run for a little bit. Alright, let's see. Player is undefined. Oops, I did that wrong. It needs to be player ref is our... Okay, and then we'll have to set up all of these properties. Alright, so min recruit 03 we can autofill. And then this one we're gonna do min recruit 03. And we want our locket. There we go. And then for the last one, we need to go inside of the USAF. And we need to find that toolbox, which I think is right, you guys said is right over, kind of near the boss right there. There it is. Nope. There we go. Yes. Yes, there we go. So now, as soon as you boot up, it should move it into the appropriate cell. So my apologies for that happening and for not believing you guys. Did not even occur to me to think about that we would have some references that would have copied over, like any of these little gray and black and red boxes on these NPCs would have got copied in our cell cloning. Okay, so let's put that in our fix log. Fixed a bug that could cause the Abernathy locket to be spawned inside of the Chapter 3 version of USAF Station Olivia instead of the vanilla version of the cell. Players already had this issue. We'll find the locket moved back where it belongs shortly after this patch is installed. There we go. Another one down. This is a pretty productive night compared to last time. Last time we got like 3 things figured out. All right, let's see where we're at here. We got lots of pop-ups. Alright, well that's running. Let's see here. Tuckman Soban, you can do an awkward sequence break during internal affairs after capturing Vault 95 if you head straight to the reactor and grab the intel. Interesting. How did that door get unlocked? We have that door actually, like, made inaccessible. Are you cheating that door open? Or is there, like, a way to grab it through a window or something? Let me find that. Or I wonder if it's one of those silly things where the AI kind of just unlock the door anyway because the AI has all-powerful door unlock skills. Let's see here. Vanilla server room door. Yeah, we have all this stuff set to like make the door inaccessible. So I don't know how it is even opening. Okay, I see. So the our bypass needs to be locked, needs to be stage locked. I see. Got it. Okay. So we need to go SAO2. Let's see, aliases. Keycard reader. Okay, so we have a separate little keycard reader thing. Activator. Oh, that's just a standard ID reader. Alright, let's see here. Function. Okay, so we need to do and okay, so we need to actually we have another little potential bug here too. And get stage done. Alright, I actually don't know what stage we need here. iStage. Alright, it's gotta be this one. Alright. Finish discussing papers. So until we get to that, we can't acknowledge they're activating things. Finish discussing papers. And then we need to, during this, or after they have the second papers, let's see, where is it? Found second note, player open door. So after here, this is when we will actually unregister for the keycard reader. There we go. That should take care of that. Let's say 02. Alright. Fixed a bug that would allow the player to bypass a portion of the quest internal affairs, and in the process break the quest. We'll just leave it vague because we don't want to encourage people to do that. Well, I guess actually no, I shouldn't leave it vague because I need people to understand that they did something wrong. And I guess I'll patch it too. We'll just go ahead and let's see. Found second note. What would happen here? Objective completed. Search server room. Second note started. Oh, I bet his AI gets stuck. That's going to be a pain to fix. So I guess we'll do something like... Let's see. I'm just going to do it up here. So if get stage done, finished at vault 95, and not get stage done, finish discussing papers, we'll put player sequence broke. And we'll just force finish those stages. So we'll do... Actually, I'm gonna do this surgically. Let's see what packages are involved in this. Mike Singh, thank you for the subscribe. Let's do our package here. So it's probably this one is where he's getting stuck in, would be my guess. Nope, no conditions, so it's not that one. So I actually don't know why the quest would get stuck. Okay, it could be that. Let's see if there's a scene running that just won't stop. Maybe it's set to loop. Salvador, Salvador, Salvador. Overseer office, en route to office. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here that would stop the quest. So what did he say? Let's see. First reason, he then teleports back inside and says to get the reactor intel. You can't start dog with him at all. Getting the first page after that and returning to HQ. Maybe it's just that this can't happen. Is that the issue? Or you can't have this conversation with him? I'm not understanding how this would sequence break. Like, I know it's awkward. Shouldn't happen, but there's nothing here I can see that would prevent you from continuing the quest after that. So, TechMan, if you got any more info, I'm gonna hold off on on making the patch part of it. Like, we got it fixed, just a matter of like what can I use to detect if I need to patch it or not. Alright, let's go back to the game and see here if our cheat is done. So we're going to make a save here. Actually, we're going to fix the weather first. You hear a rad storm coming in. Alright, we're going to go save. C1 skipped. Clean. No C2 or C3. So no, I'm going to have that in case I need it. And now we're going to enable all this other stuff again. Actually, we'll just do bare minimum once again. And so that excludes HUD framework. So I'm going to get chapter 2, and then we will skip to martial law. And then actually, no, let's just, this is good enough. Doesn't take long to skip to. I actually want this to be a fairly realistic environment. And I won't install my edits for this. All right, let's load that back up, and we'll skip to martial law and see if we can replicate any of these radio conversation issues. All right, while we're waiting for that, let's get back to chat here. Okay, so we're pretty sure we've got that. Oh, did I finish writing that patch note? So I'm not gonna do any patch for this for the SAO2 as far as like fixing it because I think people should be able to do it. I don't see anything in here that would prevent somebody from continuing the quest after that. So in theory, that little change to just prevent it from happening in the future is all we can do. All right, let's load our holotape up again. Get the skip going. Cheats, quest skipping, skip ahead. I might have done this too soon. Shortly, when you run this cheat command, if you've just installed chapters 2 or 3, sometimes it can take a minute before you get access to those chapters. Oh, there they go. Okay, so we're gonna skip to. We're actually going to do both. We're going to go, actually, you know what? I'm going to just do to Dark Horizons. Nope, hold on. Yeah. We're going to go to Dark Horizons. Then we'll do House Takeover, then Martial Law, because I want to see if we can replicate the Invincible Gunner thing. Okay, let that thing run. Let's go through chat here. Dova King. It's an easy fix for that. Lock it. All you have to do is use this little thing that you put on the door and go to the original location, and it's there, and I ran into that last night. Okay. Well, now we have a more permanent... We have a way to prevent it from happening in the first place, so that'll be even better. Same issue with the lock. Okay, so the lock it thing's going all over the forums. That's interesting. But makes sense now that we discovered that it was that autofill generic thing. So good to see that's fixed. Barry, tomorrow you mentioned that there was a companion of sorts that helps with the HUD framework constant update message in VR. Do you remember the name by any chance? So it doesn't. So basically, you just can't. You just need to uninstall HUD Framework. Don't use HUD Framework. You cannot with VR. So as far as the mod, let me see if I can find it. Somebody made. It's not for HUD Framework. What they did is they made a companion mod for SS2 that lets you view the stuff that's displayed on our HUD via a note. It doesn't help with HQ, but it helps with. And maybe they patched it with HQ stuff, but it was to help with settlement resources, so you could see the virtual resources. So let's do. See if I can find it. VR. All right, I'm gonna try going to mods, categories. We'll try searching under some settlements too for VR and see what we find. Some settlements 2. Description contains VR. No, that didn't find it. I cannot remember what that is called. Let's see. There's also a chance they took it down. That might be why I can't find it. Some settlements. VR. That was a VR compatibility patch for some settlements too. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, I'm about to post a link for you, Barry, tomorrow. So hopefully you're still on. You sent this message quite a while ago. So let's see if I can tag you. Let's see, Barry tomorrow. There you go. So that was. I asked about this over an hour ago. We'll get there eventually. Glasdell, thank you for the subscribe. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make this save. So we've got. Wait, what quest did we say we went to? Dark Horizons. Okay, so we'll go save. What? I want to do the quest number. So let's do MQ to C2 star MQ. Dark Horizons is 17. Save MQ 17 started. Clean, no C3. Oops, I did that wrong. I wrote MQ27, MQ17. So now I'm going to go delete that other one, or I'm going to get confused one day when I'm wondering why this says 27 and I'm standing in Sanctuary with nothing done. There we go. And then we'll skip to Hostile Takeover. Okay, let that run. Almost forgot about my coffee. I like how many bugs we're fixing tonight. This is great. Alright, let's see here. Scrolling on down. WizBlizz. Will it be possible to make a faction or name your collective group of settlements? Make faction-themed armor or something along those lines in the future. So yes, that is kind of what we're doing in chapter 3. Spoiler alert. You do get to name it. Faction themed armor is on our goal list. So our hope is, so the dream we have is you guys will get like a pair of uniforms. It'll be like one that looks very like combat ready and one that looks more kind of like how the Institute has, you know, they have all their scientists are in like an outfit, right? And then you have the coursers in the outfit. We want to have a similar thing, but what we want to do is let you color code the outfits and have that saved. Like you'll do it at a workbench, and then also we want you to be able to put a custom emblem on it. So you'll be able to. The hope in the future is you'll be able to choose an emblem for your faction, choose a color scheme, and then have a pair of outfits that you can give to all your people, to give to your HQ workers, to give to your soldiers, whoever you want. That'll be custom schemed to your choice in game. That's the goal. We haven't gotten there yet because we don't have an outfit artist. So far, all the custom outfits we've done are all either mashups or we've had a couple done by Nero. But we are trying to do this ourselves this time. Cynical Bounce is learning the outfit creation process, and hopefully we'll get that sometime, I don't know, in the next 6 to 8 months. I don't know how long it'll take because we got a lot of stuff we're going to do. So Cynical's not just going to work on that. Otherwise, I'm sure it'd be sooner, but that's the goal. We're hoping to be able to, you'll be able to customize your emblem colors and everything and really own the faction. That's the long-term plan. But right now you can choose a name, and so all of them are voiced. The author of Life says, are SS2 and 20 Leagues Under the Sea compatible with each other? If so, might be featured settlement building contest. Is 20 Leagues Under the Sea where they brought back that cut content of that underwater vault? As long as it was done correctly, as long as the person who made it like followed all the community steps for building a settlement correctly, it should work with SS2, yeah. Okay, so now we can do MQ 18 started, clean no C3, and then we'll do one more cheat to get to the one we're actually aiming at. But this way I can potentially replicate the problem with invincible gunners in hostile waters. If I'm able to do that, that'd be awesome. And sometimes it can be helpful to be able to go to the quest right before the problem too. So that's why this is going to be useful to have all three of these. Alright, so now I'll try and start martial law. Let's see, Doctor, is it normal that car are duplicates and stacking each other? I never saw it happen before. I'm assuming you're talking about in a city plan. Yeah, that can happen occasionally. The way the cars work with city plans, because cars are not stable in their locations, occasionally the city plan can fail to scrap the existing ones because the locations don't match up, and then you end up with duplicates. So yes, that can happen. But fortunately, you should be able to scrap them. You should be able to pop in workshop mode and scrap the extra ones. Let's see. Scrolling on down. All right, we're now to 10:06, so we're just an hour behind on chat now. Question WI, the YouTuber The Deluxe Sam was doing the recruit allies for the war. They spared both Berman and Wes, and they never showed up to be recruited. That's interesting. Well, I assume you mean Berman and Wise. So Berman does not show up that way. Berman shows up in a very specific way. Wise, it's not just that you spare him. With Wise, you have to actually pass a hard speech check to recruit him during that. So it's not just spare him. If he did it in the cheat, it could just be we have a mistake in our sequencing. Berman does not just show up though. Berman comes along in a very specific story moment. But we've been having a lot of problems with the Berman situation, so I've been slowly trying to patch that, because for a lot of folks he was showing up even if they killed him, so I've been trying to solve that. So maybe I screwed it up for the quest skip or something in the process. Cyto 404, Lupe and Mansfield's comments after Commonwealth Rising also not always trigger, but it's better to check everyone's comments just in case. Oh wow, well, way back. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, we might as well do that because it's not hard to just go look at their dialogue trees. So we'll go dialogue, and we'll just check everybody's and make sure that somebody didn't mess up there. I'm not going to say somebody. It would be me. It would definitely have been me. I don't think anybody else would have messed with this. So here we go. So as long as it's at the top of the queue, it should be good. Cassandra should have one. I think everybody should. Oh, okay, we got one sequencing issue here. It looks like somehow a hello. Oh no, that's not actually there. That's actually a display bug on this action here. As you can see, the gunner one is clearly at the top of the list. So that's a CK bug. Okay. So Cassandra should be good. Oh, are we getting a crash here? You know what? We're not going to risk it. We're going to go ahead and drop out of the game so we can start saving all these changes we've been making. CK is a sensitive bugger. So let's save this before we lose our work. All right, there we go. Now we don't need too many windows open here. Let's try. Here we go. So who's next? It would be Lupe. Check her tree. HQ leader loop. Okay, hers might be separate, but let's check here. Did hers get buried down here? Yep, hers got buried as well. I'm betting this just happened in one of these recent patches, because I know I was trying to fix a bug with HQ radio, and so I was probably messing with these scenes. There we go. There's Lupe's fixed. Fortunately, this is just, I mean, it's a bummer to miss out on flavor, but fortunately it wouldn't have been a stopper. It would have just been kind of a bummer. We're going to change this from Teresa, where several of the department heads and it's not at the end, it's after the end. There we go. And let's see, Mansfield. Yep, his got screwed up as well. So then the last one to check, I guess, is Jake, right? There it is. There we go. We fixed Teresa before, so Jake's is the last one that's potentially screwed. But I think he might be the one that has this whole separate conversation. Yeah, post 27 speech. But that means that there must be a jump point to it here, which could also be screwed up. Yep, his got messed up too. Everybody's did. Oh, come on, creation kit. Okay, so this is another display bug. You can see on here it's actually correct. It must be something to do with these groups. Okay. And we shouldn't need it on the radio call because that would be an awkward thing. Yeah, okay, it's not. There we go. Okay, so that should be fixed for all of them. Okay. All right, now we saved that. Good. Let's pop back in the game and let's go see if we can replicate some of these Berman conversation issues. Sergeant Shella, hey dear, can you replace outpost icon to more defined from radar icon? I cannot. That is an engine level, or that is hard coded. So we are piggybacking on the outpost system from Nuka World, and that's the icon that it uses. So that will require an F4 SE fix. So not something that we will likely do, but somebody could patch that if we find a Sim Settlements fan out there who knows F4 SE, which I know of one, and we're working with them. Goes by Lyra AST on Nexus and has put out the Settlers HUD, which next time I do my Let's Play, if someone reminds me, I'll go install that just to show it because it's really cool. We've been working with him to get a custom map into SS2. So one of our designers, Ono, created this this custom map system in Flex, in Adobe Flex, or it's not Adobe, it's that's the problem, it wasn't Adobe. I know it, so I know how to use Adobe's Animate software to do HUD stuff. I do not know how to do Flex, and so Lyra knows how to do all that stuff and is very good at reverse engineering, and is taking Ono's work and converting it so that we can have it in game. And basically, it's going to make it so that you'll be able to push a hotkey and bring up an alternative to this that we control, so that we can pump in custom data. So on that screen, when we get that, we'll be able to do custom icons for it. But on the vanilla screen on your map, unfortunately, that is going to require a patch. And so maybe he'd be willing to do that too when we finish that. But he's on vacation until the end of the month, so that map is still a little ways off. But we're making progress slowly but surely. And then so we'll definitely be discussing the icons when we are doing our custom version of the map. But that's going to be our solution ultimately. Is we're going to have our own map so that we can do whatever we want, since the vanilla map is so locked down. Oh, there goes our chat doing its awful thing where it jumps down and I lose a half hour of chat. Yeah, definitely need a new chat client. All right, let's turn this off. So my apologies if you sent a message between 10 and 10:30. YouTube just ate your messages. It's really frustrating that it does that, because you can look at chat history. Like if you were to go rewatch the live stream, you can see all the chat history. So I don't know why it insists on clearing it in my browser while I'm working with it. All right, let's start running that way. Oh, let's TGM here. Oops. I tried what you said on Xbox. Let's see. Nonya says, I tried what you said on Xbox, but I did get an update, but when I did what you said, it crashed again and corrupted all my saves. I have no idea how that stuff works, but I don't know how, if downloading an update corrupts saves, then Bethesda needs to like fix their update system. That seems insane. WizBliz is doing Scrapball and Hangman's Alley and having Aiden's letter appear in the workshop considered a bug? Aiden's letter? I'm not even aware of what is Aiden's letter. I don't think I've ever seen such a thing. Oh, is it the letter he leaves you in this quest that I'm doing right now? The little one that he leaves to like, hey, meet me at the vault or whatever? Is that what you're talking about? Because I have no idea what Aiden's letter would be. Oh, was that Lupe and Jake just wrecking house on all these guys? Hey, Preston.
Up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please.
Sure. All right, let's go talk to Lupe.
Hey there.
Hi, if you're looking for Jacob, I think he's up the old church across the road.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh, hey, Slick. Tell me,
All right, let's see how much of this we can skip.
You know.
Oh, did we break it? There it goes.
Yeah, plenty of time. You're starting to worry me.
It's all right.
Uh-huh. Sorry, no.
Well,
Game really doesn't like me rapid skipping these.
Uh-huh.
all I saw,
If you have something to say, I'm listening.
despite what some, oh sure, all this, but then, and now with everything.
I never realized you'd lost hope like that.
Look, I'm,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm no.
Sure. Would it make you feel better if I told you that I...
Actually,
Listen.
that's a lot of. If you need me to clean up,
Uh-huh.
All right, there we go. Godchild, can I paint the full body gunner armor? I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean that? So that armor we actually, if you're talking about the
okay,
Berman
sure,
suit
I can take over again now. Thanks
or
for watching.
Wes's maybe, we got
Hey,
those
that's
from
And are you sure?
Default the Fixer,
think you've
who
got
put
a
out
few
a
hours.
gunner outfit
Yeah, it's
pack and that he
alright.
has open permissions
I
on.
got something I need to do anyway. So, shift that pint-sized keister of yours.
Okay, if you say so. But if you keep it up with all this short stuff, I'll find a footstool.
Aldra
so
and I
can
predict
whop you
Star
on.
Vats by kinggath. Vats for Starfield to be one of the first mods. I mean, the one thing I've learned since about Starfield, since I said I'm going to need ship Vats, is that apparently you don't have to aim very well. You just have to like keep the ship within a generic circle, and that's good enough. And then it's if you want to do damage to the individual pieces of the ship, then you gotta aim. So that looks like it wasn't going to be as bad as I thought, because I am not
I got news.
not good at space combat in games that I've played in the past. So
Algernon came through for us. We've been shadowing a squad of gunners. We think they may know where the comm hub is. But this gunner squad, they've been acting kinda odd. On edge. Like they're getting ready for something.
empty stomach, empty. Does the multiple settlement object clone in some city plans? E.g. the castle spec line, the bug fix still in the backlog. I would need more details. I don't know what you're referring to.
Message repeats in 3 seconds.
Algeron, is there a way to save the HUD adjustments made with MCM hotkeys for your SS2? A super wide screen, it takes a long time to move around for when I restart. I mean, it should get saved. Like, SS2 records that as you're doing it. I don't know why it's not being saved.
You should have more faith. Right.
Just don't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know why that wouldn't be saved. So let me show you guys the code for that. So for the HUD framework stuff, let's see. I think what the quickest way to open it is. I probably already have it open in this mess. Let's see here. HUD manager. So let's look up the nudge code here. Oh, I was right there. Nudge panel. Mod panel position. Current X. So we're actually storing the panel positions in, I don't know if these are globals. Yeah, these are globals. So we're actually storing that information in. And then I think we're fetching it. Let's see here. Get value. Update panel position and scale. Yeah, and so we're restoring the HUD config as soon as you load up the mod. So I don't know why that wouldn't be happening. You could try running that, though. You could try on your next time when you load up. Here, I'll give you a console command. Let me see if I can. Let's see, how do I... at all there on. Try this. SS2 HUD manager, restore HUD config. Try that console command next time you're in game and see if that helps for you. Maybe there's something preventing this from running, or maybe this is running too soon. Coffee shop, thank you for the subscribe. The only thing I can think of is, or maybe this isn't getting set. B, restore HUD config needed. False, true. Set framework installed. Yeah, on handle game loaded, it's flagging them for needing a restoration. And then every time you call show HUD, it should be calling restore HUD config. Yeah, I don't see anything that would be preventing this from running, but yeah, I guess we could go tinker with it. Let's see. Let's go sanctuary. Oh, do I have HUD framework enabled? I think I do. I'm very curious now if these settings will hold for me. Alright, pop into workshop mode. Let's bring up our settings here. Alright, Sims Elements 2. HUD. No, we want hotkeys. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna just do, we'll just do cycle active. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll do move left. Can we do left arrow? Yeah. Alright, so, and then how do we... Okay, so in theory, I guess I can just go K. And get it to highlight our resource panel. There we go. And then I just start nudging this guy. Alright, and we'll turn that off. Alright, so now we'll do save HUD restore test. And then we'll reload and see what happens. And then we can continue with martial law. Is there a way to Debugging, is there a way to remove the gunners and raiders from responding? I don't know what you mean by that. Are they, yeah, can you give me a little more detail? Responding to what? Restore test. Let's see what happens here. it's still loading. We'll give it a second. In the meantime, we're going to throw tires at Codsworth. That's for you, bud. I want to hook one on his eye. It's a shame that physics don't allow for that. I think these are like solid cylinders and they don't have actual holes in them. Oh, that was a terrible throw. Good thing we got a lot of tires. Here, Codsworth, present for you. It'll get you drunk. Thank you for the subscribe. It's one hell of a username. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Yep, and see my panel loaded. So that's what should be happening to you. But if it's not, that that console command I gave you should do the trick. All right, let's head on over to. All right, we're gonna need to unhide some map markers here. Oh, I probably should have TGM there because I'm gonna get my butt kicked by blood bugs here or whatever, or bloat flies. All right, TGM. There we go. Workout Music TV in 300H. The settle assigned to either Patrol Guard or Sport still end up joining the assault sword to fix that. That's actually a there's a setting in the holotape for that to turn that on and off. So check and make sure you have that you have that how you want it, and it might be depending on your difficulty. So depending on what you chose, hold on just a second. Depending on what you chose in, this is something that's we haven't documented on the wiki yet, I don't think. So when you guys first launch the mod and you load up your holotape, you get the little pop-up, which I'll show you again. So we can talk about it with something, the visual guide here. So if we go to the options wizard, so when you got this screen, if you chose whatever one of these you chose, will determine the default options for the war mechanics. So I believe if you choose automated, it turns off all the requirements on from the, like it turns off the cost for assaults, it turns off the warriors only for assaults, it turns off the distance limit. It basically makes it you can just run assaults whenever you want with almost no requirements if you have it on automated mode. So we basically incorporated all the war mechanics into your selection for these options so that we would get something close to what people would want. But because we don't actually record what you chose during that holotape pop-up, we used the resource complexity as a stand-in for existing saves. So if you had an existing save, we use whether you're playing with the simple resources, meaning you only have supplies and scrap, to be a proxy for you're playing on automated mode. So it might be that a lot of your war options, that the default war options don't match necessarily what you're seeing from other players or what are coming in the pop-ups. So check your holotape /MCM settings. There's Aiden's note. There we go. All right, let's go join these guys over here. Neon sees any word on people reporting that companions are acting oddly after adding chapter 3 to their game. It happens even with vanilla companions, like not following, getting stuck on ana markers. So the only issue that, like, we had an issue that we were causing with companions early on, and it wasn't just companions, it was like all settlers, where we would cause them to go fleeing from combat. So we have a system in place where civilian NPCs run away during assaults. So that way they're, because it felt a lot better now that we have soldiers to not have every random settler just turn on the gunners, because then it seems like it just looks like mass chaos. Feels like the soldier portion of things matters less. So we wanted to have some people kind of seeking cover, and the companions were caught up in that. In 300H, I changed it, I fixed it a little bit, and then in 300I, I think I completed the fix to where now your companions should if their companions are living at the settlement that's under attack, they should join your side when you get there. So they will suddenly just start attacking the gunners all around them, so they become part of the battle.
Malfunction in vault door cycling sequence. Please contact your Vault Tech maintenance representative for service.
Here we go.
Warning, vault integrity compromised. Please contact your Vault Tech maintenance representative immediately.
Hold your fire. They're friendly. Please, you must help us. The vault is being
It's so
besieged
weird
by
not
Iceland mercenaries.
like it's been so long since I played this quest to not have Mansfield like just around and being on our side.
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
We tried to stop them, but there were just too many. I don't know how they did it, but they forced the vault door open. Before our security forces could even react, 5 whole groups made it down to the lower levels. I need to get down there, but I can't take any of the vault security. They're all needed here to defend the entrance. Could you?
Right. Of course I'll help you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Follow me. I'll open the elevator for you.
Thank you. Didn't even have to touch the button. Oh, he's like, I'm coming with. That's new. I don't think we did that. I don't think we changed that. I don't know what's going on here. What's going on, buddy? I don't think we have him set as a companion, but I'll take it. You gonna come fight with us?
Up there, look. In the
Oh no, that is normal.
We have to save her.
Yeah, that is what's supposed to happen. Forgot about that commentary on it to point out that the overseer's over there. I don't know if, does he actually join us? Is he fighting with us or does he just hide? Yeah, he just hides. Perfect. I actually don't think that was intentional for him to hide, but that's kind of funny. That means we probably left his confidence rating really low. Actually, let's check that real quick. That does not seem intentional, however funny it may be. We'd like to have a little bit of a spine. He shouldn't just give up immediately. Let's check his AI data here. I've never seen him get on the elevator with me. That's fantastic. You know what I wonder? I always wonder how much of when I see things playing out better than I remember, of how much of that is because of the interior nav cut fix. That freaking mod is amazing. Yeah, so we've got him as confidence, cowardly. Let's up that a little bit. We'll do cautious. He can be pretty low on there, so he'll give up easily, but we don't need him running away at everything. So now aggressive is the setting we generally like to have NPCs on, which means that they'll fight back. And then the confidence determines like how much damage they take before they run away. So we'll let him be, you know, he's not going to be super brave, but we also would like him to not be a total wuss. Especially when he's supposed to be helping defend his people here at the vault. Not much of a leader if he can't or a deputy overseer if he just hides. We'll see if I get a nasty message from Sarik tomorrow that I should not have done that because it's important that Mansfield be a coward. I don't know. Just feels like he came running down with a pistol. You should at least fight a little. Fight from cover. Alright, who's still alive? I see a red dot. There you are. Oh.
Bingo.
That'll be a lot faster than what I'm using. Oh, I think that's the end of combat, isn't it? Because now it's just we immediately go to the scene up there. If I can remember how to get there. Nope, not the laboratory. I don't think it's up here. I'd never noticed this before. I spray painted the decal up there, the gunners. That's awesome. All right, let's save before we get in the room there. So we'll save MQ, I think this is 19. We determined 19. Pre-overseer office. So maybe we can try and, if we replicate any, hopefully we can do some fixes, load them up, and reload to the save and see them work.
You're back.
What?
Oh, I guess we'll crank up the audio so you guys can hear this while we're playing through this.
Oh shit, you gotta be kidding me. What are you doing here? Haven't you killed enough gunners already?
You know who I am, so tell me, what are you doing here?
I'm just doing my job. Like any other gunner. Look, before you get all trigger happy, the only people we killed here were those who shot us first. We're just following orders from Captain West, okay?
What exactly is your mission here?
Breach and secure, pacify the residents, get them to cooperate if we could. We're not raiders. Most of us try to avoid slaughter. If our orders allow it.
What you've done here is inexcusable. And you will answer for it.
Okay, sure. I get that. But maybe we could come to some sort of arrangement or something.
An arrangement? With a gunner? What could possibly go wrong? Entrance is secure. Vault security can take it from here.
Oh god. You're Aiden McTavish, aren't you? You're here as well? And Captain Algernon too? What?
Shut up. I'll make this real simple. Recently the gunners stole a comm-hub computer. If you want to leave this place alive, you're gonna tell us everything you know about it.
What? Look, I don't know nothing about that. We're just meant to secure the vaults, that's it? No one said anything about a hub computer.
This one's all yours.
I recognize you.
Yes, sir. Spent some time as tech. Helped fix up your armor a few times, sir.
I remember. You did a good job. I'm gonna ask you plainly, Sergeant, and I expect a clear answer. What are your orders? In full. No details omitted.
Yes, sir. Orders were to breach and secure the vault. And get cooperation from the residents if possible.
Those were your full orders?
Yes, sir. Oh, wait. We did have prior orders before the vault mission, but they had to be scrubbed. We were meant to meet with Commander Berman.
Commander? Sounds like somebody was promoted. If men like Berman are now leading squads. The gunners may be further gone than I thought.
He needed help moving something, sir. Something big. But my squad got delayed before we could meet up. And the attack on this vault couldn't wait.
Something big, huh? How much you want to bet that's the comm hub? This Berman. You got a way to contact him?
Yeah. This radio. I was meant to call him when we were done here.
Hand it over. On the desk, now.
Sure. Take it. It's yours. So, me and my men. We can go now, right?
Up to you.
You're dismissed, Sergeant. Take your men and find a safe house. Maintain radio silence until you hear from me.
Yes, sir. I don't know what West's plans are, but we want no more part of them. We won't cause any more trouble.
Hello.
Let's try this radio. See if we can't gather some more intel. Try turning it on.
Sarge, about time your lazy ass radioed in.
So it did auto start, and I'm not against that, but let me see if I can, because I didn't even click. Let's see if that's something that can be easily resolved. It's where it won't break anything. All right, let's see here. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, so we do have it set up to where you would have to force click it, but we also have, if you're close to the radio, the scene just starts automatically. Let's see here. Try turning it on. So I'm guessing stage 300 of this just starts up the scene. So let's see, stage 300 is turn on radio. Yeah, and we're just automatically starting the scene. And I don't really want to stop that because I'd rather not risk breaking this quest since it is so sensitive, so.
What the hell kept you? Had to move everything myself.
Rosen made any luck finding the deleted nav mesh? I think I did. Yeah, I found one. Whoa, what's going on there?
Bring 'em with you.
I did find one deleted nav mesh record, and I got rid of it. Okay, so here we got something weird going on. It looks like, I wonder if Tiny Berman got big. That's my guess here. MQ19. Alright, let's see here. Radio Berman. A101131. Get distance 14. So he's in front of us. Get scale. It's 0.11. Okay, that's correct. Get race. That doesn't let me do that. Okay, so let's see. 101130. Alright, let's shrink this guy down. Open another one. Okay, we've got our Berman dummy here. Okay, so we turned him into the flying race. So my guess what's going on here is he's attempting to use... We probably had the old... So we set up this flying race. And actually, now that I know how to do this thing, I can do some more here. We found a way to basically make an invisible actor that we can position anywhere we want. They don't have to be on the nav mesh. And I did it by creating a race that floats. And we also use this to simulate the player going up a ladder. We recently discovered how to make it so that an actor fully disappears without us having to set invisibility, so they don't ever accidentally show up again. So let me change him to be that, if I can find it. Armor, make actor invisible. Ta-da, there he goes. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and exit out here. Actually, we'll try saving the middle of this one. Yeah, it should be fine. Save, Berman, test. Close out here. Okay, so we're gonna, so we should set up doesn't bleed, invulnerable as ghost, so that he doesn't, if the player starts shooting over there, they don't see it. What is still open? Oh, I got the quest open. Oh yeah, I wanted to see, is he using some sort of furniture that would make it float? Because I don't like that it's floating up like that. That feels very wonky. And probably has something to do with why it was breaking for you. Glenn Miller, kinggath needs someone to read the chat and select topics. Yeah, I agree with that. That'd be awesome, but we haven't gotten there yet. So, but in the meantime, I think I'll just I'll ask ChatGPT to write me a little utility to record the chat. Yeah, sit linked ref, ignore combat. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do instead of sit linked ref, we'll just travel to linked ref. All right, let's see if there's a default one. Okay, so we'll just edit this guy. We'll just do... Let's see, it's just regular linked ref, so we'll just do travel. Near linked reference. We'll give it a little bit of a buffer so it has some room to move. Flags, ignore combat, no combat alert. Yes, create a new one. So C2, ignore. There we go, get rid of the sit. Okay, okay. Save that. Go back to our data folder. And we'll grab this. Let's make sure that we're loading this plugin. We are not, so let's go ahead and load up all of our edits again. And I just realized we had chapter 3 launched, so all these saves that I wrote as no C3, I need to erase that from them. Just doing some file maintenance here because these will be valuable for me in the future when bug fixing. All right, let's see if those edits have any impact. Now there's a good chance that he's still like hovering up in the air right now. And I might need to reposition him. But I got an idea how we can do that for testing. Empty stomach TM. When you deploy the city plan for castle, some of the existing settlements like power that clone 3 times. Well, in the same, if I assume you're talking about for the new city plans, I mean that's going to be the same problem we have with ROTC, that updating these city plans is very, very difficult. So the chances of it getting fixed are very, very slim, very slim. Let's see here. Show quest variable SS2C3 MQ 19. Oh, it's C2. That's right. 19. Let's grab Berman. Okay, 101131. And then we're gonna do get linked ref. And then we're gonna go move to A101132.
Crazy ass radioed in. What the hell kept you? Had to move everything myself. Whatever. You finished at that vault now? You got any spare men left? Bring them with you. Could use the extra cannon fodder. Lost a few of mine attacking a settlement. Ungrateful piss ants actually fought back. You believe that?
Okay, so the issue we're running here. Okay, so I see the problem here. So we were relying on him sitting in that furniture because that's the only way we can dodge the nav mesh requirement for NPCs. And so since we switched him to this new race is not eligible to sit in the furniture we had there. So what I may have to do is we may have to create like a furniture dummy for this. This is going to require, I'm going to have to get Nihar to help me with this. Let me put some notes down. So we need a furniture with no real animation that lets our flying race sit in it. Alright, so I'm going to put that down as a note. That's something I'm going to have to do. So for now, though, I am going to restore the old AI package. So that way, once we get that furniture swapped, this will already be ready and I won't have to remember to mess with it. Yagi, is there any mechanical benefit to the new Watchtower plot leveling up other than the model providing increasingly nice sniping positions for the player? Stats-wise, it should increase the defense very slightly, but there's not a huge benefit to it. That's actually one of the things on my list of balance things, is to go look at all of our new classes and see if there's come up with some benefit to not only having higher level ones, but also to having multiple people, so that way there's a thing that will inspire something beneficial to inspire add-on authors who want to create like a big version of the plot, like, because I think that's a lot of fun, where it has some sort of benefit to having a lot of people. So some of them do, like the recruitment one does. What are some of the other ones? Battlefield Scavengers has a benefit. Field Medics has a benefit to having multiple people and higher levels. So we just need to think of some for some of the other ones. Let's see. We want sit linked ref, ignore combat. That's the one we want to keep on there. All right, now let's see if we can get to that break here.
Who are you talking about?
What the fuck? Wait, who is there? What are you doing with a gunner radio?
That's Berman, the one who took your comm hub to Wes.
You should talk to him.
Berman, this is Captain Algernon. Let's not waste time. You know my opinion on the gunners. Everything we're doing, it's wrong. It's only gonna hurt us in the long run, and the Commonwealth will be no better. But you can still do the right thing. Help us. Tell me where the hub is. We can still stop all this before it goes too far.
Oh, jeez. You always were a blowhard, old man. But I never thought you were this fucking delusional. What makes you think I give a mole rat's ass about the Commonwealth?
Okay, that's probably what you're running into, right? Let's see what's going on there, because that did not sound good. Because I don't, that's too soon for it to do the click. That's like the, that sounds like the end of the conversation. Alright, Algernon branch. Let's see, nope, this is it. About the Commonwealth. And then this is, let's show our scene links. This will jump over to radio merge. And then that was breaking for some reason. So let's see here. Why was it breaking? Let's see. We've got a camera distance. Only death would end it. So nobody's dead yet. Oh, we can uncheck that just in case. So let's check this real quick. What is the condition on this thing? .305 is 1, finished is 0. So let's check our stages. 305 is done. What did we say? 305 is done and 310 is not, I think was the... Yep, okay, so those conditions are met.
That voice I heard before. That was that Vault Dweller chump, right? The, whole survivor, or whatever.
So I'm guessing what happened to you, and I apologize, I don't remember who said it. My bet is our NPC that represents the radio, like, floated up here somewhere. And so if you were to point at that, and it would probably kick in again.
All right, talk.
Yeah, you're the partner of the guy we nabbed, right? It's just...
Alright, let's see if we can get through it all.
I'll make this easy for
you. Fair.
Right.
So I...
Alright, huge spoiler here for anybody else who made it through Chapter 2. Close your eyes. Plug your ears.
Let him go.
We're gonna fast forward through it all.
Oh my god.
Damn that Berman. He's the embodiment of everything wrong with the gunners.
Alright, let's make sure that it finished. 310. It did. Alright, let's make sure that this can continue.
That guy he shot. Someone you knew?
Click static. What is happening here? Alright, let's see here. Radio merge. Where is 310 getting set here? I don't see that anywhere. Well, it's definitely getting set. Alright, let's just wait a second here. See if that click radio static goes away. Yeah, it's like we're stuck in some... Oh, here it is. Wait, where was it? Where is this aiming at? I wonder if that, again, is that NPC and it's like floating onto him. So let's see here. Post radio. Someone you knew. And then we need this to point. So unfortunately, because this is on the Aiden line. Yeah, that's very confusing. So like this is a little a problem with just how we have this designed. Like this almost needs to be separated into a second scene because you have to point at the person who this dialogue choice is on, which is on Aiden. I guess we could clone this. Let's try that. Let's do exit here. All right, so this is a little more complicated, but this will be worth doing just to make it cleaner. How's the best way to do this? Let's see. This is actually a bad condition too, now that I'm looking at this. Or dead. Okay, cool. Alright, so we need... We need to make sure that this is in both of these, of their trees, but that a player doesn't try and do both of them. So I think I have to... I think the safest thing to do would be to create 2 of these. So this is going to be greeting skip Aiden. And we'll do one here. This one's going to be greeting skip Algernon. And then before we can clone this action, we need to convert all these into what's called a shared info, which means we can use the same sound file. So we're going to go player, he was my friend. I don't have to do these big long names, but never even liked. I want to make sure I can find them later if I need to. He was just in. Make sure info, yeah. Okay, so now we can go copy action, paste it here. It should point to the same, everything should point to the same thing still. All right, and then lastly, we need to change this to jump to there. So we want to go, what scene are we on? 16 radio merge. Nope, it's still not there. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, we're on 17 post radio. Okay, post radio. Greeting skip Algernon. So that will jump ahead to there. This one will just continue forward. And then these, all of the responses from the player will skip ahead. So this will skip past the Aiden one, so that should never happen. So now we just need to make sure this one skips ahead to the correct one as well. Okay, so now this should work correctly. So the reason we have these lines cloned, so you can see we have the guy who got shot, you knew him. The guy who got shot, you knew him. We jump to this phase from the previous scene, and actually that's not even set up correctly. But if the player activates the NPC, we say this. So we actually need to go from previous. And we need to go back to our radio merge. Find where we're jumping into this scene. I don't like that I can't see where stage 310 is being set, so it must be something in the script here. So let's see. Let's do 310. Berman radio done. What is setting that? So it's nothing happening here. It must be happening, and I don't see it happening clearly. Oh, I forgot to save this one. I don't see it happening clearly in this scene anywhere. All right, let's go a little slower here. Generally, we set stages during dialogue. Yeah, I don't see. I wonder if it's on the alias. Are we reacting to that? Doesn't seem to make sense though. It's a mystery. How are we setting this stage? I wonder if we have a secondary controller request or something. Yeah, there's nothing being set on him. What in the heck? How is this happening? Yeah, normally there would be like a, right here we would have, this would be setting stage, the stage right there, but it's clearly not. Where is this happening? It's not on the phase. It's not on the player lines. Like from the look of this, it's like it's not possible for this quest to be proceeding. I'm very confused. And there's nothing advancing to the next scene, but we all watched it happen. What in the heck is going on here? Okay, so I think I need to load this up in Xedit and see if I can figure it out. I don't like this at all. I do not like not being able to see how it, this is why the CPD is currently, like, we're not messing with it, because we have a whole bunch of issues like this where we have no idea where a stage is being set. And this is actually one of my beefs with the CK, that a lot of things in the CK, you can right click on them and hit use info and like find a trail to get back to them. Like that's how we found that toolbox earlier. But for whatever reason, you don't have that ability on quest stages. So sometimes a stage is happening and we have no idea how. There's no clear place where it's happening anywhere. And it's very frustrating to deal with, because then if you try and delete a stage that's being used anywhere, it crashes the CK. So we end up like, there's a lot of our quests that just have a stage that says do not use, do not delete, or something along those lines, because we have no idea what's using it, and we have no way to check, like, other than doing what I'm doing now, which is like manually, painstakingly looking at every single phase in the quest and trying to figure out where it is, looking through all the different aliases and scripts and trying to find where a stage is being used. And yeah, I have no clue where this one, what is triggering this. Do we have no script on here? I don't see scripts on any of these. Yeah, hopefully there'll be a little more information on this. So let's look at quest. MQ19. We'll see if there's any type of cross-reference in this. So there's flags. Let's see, we need to go down to 310. Oops, I went way too far. All right, let's first collapse all this stuff out of the way. All right, now we can scroll down easier. All right, 310. Berman radio finished. Okay, so there's no way to check for use info with this either. That's frustrating. Okay, but let's figure out what scene that is. Lots of dialogue topics. I think it was 16 radio merge. All right, merge skip, merge skip. All right, well, it should be the very last one, wherever it is. So, okay, here we go. Action 25, timer. Oh, a timer can set a thing? I did not know that. This is start phase 25. I did not know a timer could set a stage. Look at that. A timer can set a stage. That is... So normally when they... good thing we got Xedit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Because normally when you can see it on the actions. Like you don't have to open them up. There's like a little preview here. But I'm sure we did that for a reason. So I don't want to break it. But I'm going to put a note on the phase. Let's see. So we'll go action 27 timer sets stage 310. There we go. Change the phase name. All right. What is this doing? All right. These actions will break. Action 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, we better screen cap that. So whenever you change phase names, then you can end up breaking random parts of the scene. So we got to go check on all these now. Okay, we're fine with that. All right, so let's go check 16 radio merge. We need to check actions 4, 5. What is it? 4, 5, and 7. So action 4. I don't see how this would break from that. There's not starting any scenes. It must be this thing here. All right, so positive. Nope, that's going to the right spot. That's going to negative. This is set up very oddly. Neutral and question. Okay, so everything seems to be set up still correct here. Okay, so now we need to go test. All right, now that we discovered the mystery of what's set in the stage, let's take our edits here. I don't think we did any edits in the script. Q19, no, it does not look like it. All right, let's pop over there. Let's see what happens. Let's see, while we're waiting for this, let's do some more chat from an hour ago. Debugging meaning when you kill them in Concord, they keep coming back. Coming back at GNR. Oh, yeah. So that requires basically disabling cell reset, which you need either a mod to do, or we can set that can set cells to not reset, which we won't do, or a F4SC thing can do it. So I've had that on my list of something I would like to do eventually, of like take all of our cells where we like put stuff in them after you clear them, and having a F4SC script that disables the reset on them. I just haven't gotten around to it. So for now, you just get to count on all your people and turrets murdering everyone for you.
Sergeant, about time your lazy ass radioed in. What the hell kept you? Had to move everything myself. Whatever. You finished at that vault now? You got any spare men left?
You see that thing move? Because our invisible Berman just like knocked it.
If you were mine attacking a settlement. Ungrateful pissants actually fought back. You believe that?
Who are you talking about? You do the talking, I'll be the intimidating presence.
Hey, clear out your ears and listen good. The comm hub. You took it, we want it back.
Oh, actually.
So where is it?
Oh, I can't do that. I needed to test that the Algernon thing worked. I was just like, oh, let's change it up. But I actually need Algernon to speak there so we can make sure that the fork I added worked.
Sergeant, about time your lazy ass radioed in. What the hell kept you? Had to move everything myself. Whatever. You finished at that vault now? You got any spare men left? Bring them with you. Could use the extra cannon fodder. Lost a few of mine attacking a settlement. Ungrateful pissants actually fought back. You believe that?
Who are you talking?
What the
That's Berman.
You should talk to him.
Berman, this is Captain Algernon. Let's not waste time. You know my opinion on the gunner.
SRV3. My
Everything
HQ
we're
won't
doing,
receive power,
it's
and my
wrong.
food and water storage
It's
are
only
full,
gonna
but it says
hurt
I
us in the
don't
long
have
run,
any
and the
advice.
Commonwealth will be no
So,
better. But you can
for
still
power,
do the right thing.
you need
Help
to... We gotta turn this down if I'm gonna talk. You gotta have a couple of things. One, you've gotta have supply agreements with the settlements that you're trying to get power from, the ones that have surplus. And you've gotta have... power transfer set up at those settlements. Power transfer is a class you unlock after you've built a lot of municipal power plants and leveled them up. And then food and water. Food you get your max food increases by building up like kitchens. So there's different rooms in there that'll be able to be kitchens. And water, there is a water, I don't remember what it's called in HQ. It's in the basement. There's a water purification room. So basically just start building HQ up, and eventually you'll find rooms that improve the amount of those things you can get. Alternatively, you can actually turn off a lot of those requirements if you find HQ to be too much for you. There's settings to turn off most of those requirements, or you can go to God mode while you're building an HQ. That's another way you can go. But if you're looking to embrace the full mechanics and you want to play it, just you got to build up more of the rooms, and you got to set up supply agreements with more of your settlements.
Tell me where the hub is. We can still stop all this before it goes too far.
Oh, jeez. You always were a blowhard, old man. But I never thought you were this fucking delusional. What makes you
Charles Tipton, thank you for the subscribe. What just happened there? Oh, that was the... Wait, what? Oh, there we go.
All right, talk.
Yeah, you're the partner of...
Okay, so that... Oh, yeah, and we determined, I think, that breaks because of the... Let's double check that one more time. That is clicking me out of the conversation because of our little flying guy needs to be fixed up. But let's double check here. Is there a way we can get it... to not break like that? Let's see. I wonder if this is a case of because the previous scene is not flagged as player dialogue. Maybe it doesn't like jumping in and out of player dialogue, and that's the problem. All right, well, we'll double back. That's less important than what we're trying to fix right now.
It's just so... Oh.
Uh-huh.
You need an arm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I definitely want that gunner static. Let's see. Let's make sure this is set to forced so it doesn't keep trying to play. So this will mean that the player has to actually click activate. Requires player activation. Here we go. Maybe that'll stop it from popping up like that over and over again. Okay.
him go.
Quit.
Sure.
Shut it.
Oh, I got plenty.
Oh my god. Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Damn that Berman. He's the embodiment of everything wrong with the Gunners. That guy he shot. Someone you knew?
Haha, that worked. All right.
Yeah.
In spite of what happened, that radio call may have been...
Okay, so that fixed that. That makes that a little cleaner. So now we need to try and figure out... So I think the thing I just did with the force, that'll stop that constant, like, click, click, click. So now let's see if we can... We'll test it with just his first. If we switch this back to player dialogue, set that... and we will set this to prevent exit so the player can't break it. And that's all fine. All right, let's see if that will allow the rest of that to play out a little smoother. But I'm fairly certain we can get the furniture thing I mentioned for our invisible actor. I think that'll be something that Nihar can create. It probably doesn't even need to be created. There's probably just some vanilla files I can repurpose for exactly what we need. Mojo7623, the Vault Net terminal in Vault 111 is misspelled. Uh-oh. That's no good. Alright, let's see if we can find that misspelling real quick. Alright, so that's going to be MA03, I think is where we have those terminals. Alright, what did we misspell here?
Sergeant, about time your lazy ass radioed in. What the hell kept you? Had to move everything myself. Whatever. You finished at that vault now? You got any spare men left? Bring them with you. Could use the extra cannon fodder. Lost a few of mine attacking a settlement. Ungrateful piss ants actually fought back. You believe that?
Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, we definitely got to fix this invisible actor thing. This is like trying to find where the marker is. There it is. That's obnoxious.
Who are you talking about? Uh-huh.
That's Berman.
All right, so let's keep doing it the same way. So we need to try Algernon and see if that
Berman, this is Captain Algernon.
keeps it from
Let's
breaking.
not waste time. You know my opinion on the Gunners. Everything we're doing, it's wrong. It's only going to hurt us in the long run, and the Commonwealth will be no better. But you can still do the right thing. Help us. Tell me where the
Oh, I bet I know what it was. It's basically, it's not the player dialogue. It was because this thing was triggering partway through the conversation. The next greeting was becoming eligible, so it was trying to start the next conversation.
You always were a blowhard, old man. But I never thought you were this fucking delusional. What makes you think?
All right, let's see if my theory is correct. It should start right into the next scene. Yep, there we go. So I don't think we need the player dialogue, although the benefit of having the player dialogue checkbox is it means players can skip the lines, so might as well leave it.
Put them back on the radio. I want to talk to them.
All right. Talk.
Okay, so if my theory is correct on that, we should be able to do the Aiden or any of the other paths as well without it breaking.
Sergeant, about time your lazy ass
Alright, now let's go back to our terminal here. Misspelling's not in that one, must be in the other terminal. Or there might be that we didn't name all the terminals correctly here. Vault Tech terminal. Divert power. Is this the one you're talking about? Where are we misspelling here? Vault Tech terminal. You said it's something Vault Net terminal is misspelled? Maybe there's another one that has a different name that I'm not seeing.
Who are you talking?
That's Berman.
You do the talking, I'll be the intimidating presence.
Hey, clear out your ears and listen good. The comm hub. You took it, we want it back. So where is it? This is your only chance to get on our good side. So tell us what we want to know, now.
Or what? sick your Minutemen buddies on me? That's right. I know who you are.
There we go. It's like, uh-oh. Theory proved incorrect, but there it goes.
Watching your back. Try to threaten me all you want. Ain't a damn thing you can do. Hey, that voice I heard before. That was that Vault.
Yep, there it goes, and it picked into the whole survivor line.
What do you want?
Looking up at the ceiling. Talking to the light bulbs. Okay, yeah. So I think we fixed this scene before I get the patch out tomorrow. Oh, I think it'll be tomorrow because this is getting to be quite meaty, and then I'm sure we'll have some other stuff from people, from other people on the team. We'll turn in some stuff. So hopefully we'll have another hotfix tomorrow, and hopefully I can get Nihir to send me some stuff to take care of this thing. So we'll put fixed several issues with the radio conversation during the quest martial law that could cause the scene to break at several points and be difficult to know where the player should be looking. Cool. That's a good one to have fixed. That one has been like finicky since chapter 2 came out. I think that was like one of our most buggy conversations, and now I know enough to fix that kind of stuff. So so that feels pretty good to have done. So the excuse me, the switch to the flying guy was an attempt to resolve the tiny Berman issue, but forgot about the lack of a furniture. And I think there's a couple other spots we use the little tiny flying actor, and we've been meaning to like standardize this system so that it can always work the same way, and when troubleshooting will be the same. So this is a good first step. So once we get this furniture thing, we'll be able to go through and do it for Tiny Neil and Tiny Lamont, and there's a couple other places where we're using tiny actors that can bug out. Mojo, I wasn't able to find that terminal, but maybe I'll find it when I play, and then I'll be able to fix it. Or somebody else will find the actual... I need the base ID of that terminal, basically. I need someone to click on it with better console F4C and then tell me what it's called. Jeremy Duncan, justice will be served for OP. Chat jumped again. All right, let's see how many messages that got eaten this time. Let's see. That time we lost... Oh, no. I think we got them all. I was able to scroll back far enough and not lose messages. Let's see. So let's keep moving forward. Mod 142 got yourself a nice enemy melting gun. Paint jobs for SS2 faction for armors, PAs, and weapons, maybe. I mean, I don't know about all that, but maybe we'll end up doing something like that. Like the thing we're doing with the faction stuff we're gonna do is pretty complicated, so we'll have to see how feasible it is to do for other things. So one part of it requires like hundreds of thousands of records that get generated by Xedit, and we might literally run into the plugin record limit, which would be wild. So we'll have to see if we can pull it off. We might have to have like literally an individual ESL plugin. Now, it wouldn't even be able to be ESL. It would have to be full ESP because it's so many records. In order to use this system I described of being able to like pick an emblem and colors and have it dynamically do stuff, we might literally need a different like one plugin just to support that feature for power armor, one just for weapons, etc. So I don't know how we're going to do it yet. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it. But it might be one day that we release like 6 new ESPs that add all this faction customizability. What special stat benefits soldiers? Currently, only there are 2 stats that can kind of get benefits. Endurance benefits because you get more health, and luck. If you run there's training in HQ you can run. I can't remember what the name of the training is. Does anybody happen to know that offhand? It was in the patch notes. I can't remember what it's called. But if you train their luck, you can increase the amount of energy that they provide to the military department in HQ. But that's only if you also do these training sessions in the admin department that has them. And that will allow luck to apply. In the future, my intention is to add benefits for all special stats to combat. I have some documented ideas for it, and it's just it hasn't been implemented yet. It'll be something we do in a quality of life / just like improvement type of patch later. Let's see, scrolling on down. Oh, what is that? Yo Diggy Doggable, thank you for the subscribe. Let's see, am I all caught up? No, I'm not caught up messages. Okay, almost there though. Nick Carter, you didn't add the remove me fix to the change log. You're right. Removed an old buildable entry called remove me from the HQ build menu. This was a leftover from alpha testing. That was mistakenly left in the mod. Okay. Curtis Newell, for survival mode, you accessed the resource report daily change by changing the hotkey in MCM. How am I able to access that report on Xbox? I will show you. So let's go to the game. Hover name says VaultNet instead of VaultNet. Oh, okay. In the Overseer's office in 111. Oh, we added... That sounds like a mistake. We shouldn't be adding any... I'll have to look at that. We should not have added any. I wonder if they replaced... Somebody replaced a terminal and I didn't know about it. I'll have to check that. Alright, now what we're going to do... Oh yeah, I was going to show you... I was going to go in and do the... How do you do the report on Xbox? So let's delete some of these saves here. Oh, this one will work. This will put us in a settlement. No, there should not. If one got added there, that was a mistake. So that will need to be rectified. I will take a look at it shortly. Okay, let's see. We need to craft. So do we have the city managers on the tape? Let's see here. All right. So let's go to. Nope, that's not what we need. Apparently I need to go to sleep soon. I'm running out of brain power here. All right, so let's build a desk. So you're gonna do a city planner's desk. Whoops. Build one of these, and we're gonna go craft. Nope, what happened there? There it goes. All right, so we're gonna craft under tools. We want, I think it's city manager tools. Yeah, city manager tools. So we're gonna craft one of these guys. All right. And that should be under aid. And we're gonna just go ahead and hotkey this guy. Bring this up. And we're gonna do resource panel, report view toggle. So we're gonna click on that, and then you get your report. And then you can click it again and toggle it back off. So that's how you do it on Xbox. So since you can't have hotkeys, we give you this thing, which gives you some other stuff you can mess with. So you can like position the HUD with it. You can switch back and forth between this the report view. So that is what you will do on Xbox. So not as nice as the PC options, but that's what we have available to us on Xbox. So that is where you'll do that. All right, so let's load up Vault 111 in Chapter 3. Actually, do we have if we have a clone of the cell, then that's not as big a deal. But I don't think we cloned it. I think we did all of that in the actual cell. Let's double check that though. I might be wrong. Yeah, because we have a sub cell that we added to it. So let's go to Vault 111. I think it's this one. And then let's look at all the new refs that got added in there. Let's see here. Let's look at this thing. So if this got added in there, this is a pet peeve of mine when mods do this. Put adding stuff to existing spaces immediately without it being yeah, I don't like this at all. So this is gonna go away. We gotta find another way for this to exist. Let's look at this. Well, first we'll fix the spelling until we figure out where else this is gonna go. Yep, vaultnet. Vaultnet. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to initially disabled. Enable parent. Any. All right, where's that at? Set enable the opposite and play ref. There we go. All right, so we will have to figure out how to get that information to the game, but I don't like adding. So the one exception we've made is when we sneak it on top of like broken terminals. That feels less bad. Or to places that players don't necessarily visit all the time, but places that people are used to starting the game. This feels like we're retconning the vanilla game, and I don't like that. So we will disable that for now. We'll figure out how to get that information to you guys later. The easiest solution is to just put this in our sub basement. So that's probably where it'll end up going. Actually, I can do that right now. I can just move it down there. Let me read what this terminal is, because that is, I don't know where it was intended to go. If it was supposed to go here, or as a, you know, maybe planting some seeds. Maybe that was the idea of this. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, and it took away my enable state parent setting. All right, let's see here. Let's read about this terminal. What does it say? Warcraft has subscribed. Thank you. Let's see. What does this say? Yeah, this is weird. This is weird that because this doesn't add anything that benefits like our, like, you know, like that's nothing here helps with our story. So there's no reason for this to exist. Yeah, I'm going to just leave this disabled for now until I hear from whoever added it and they can pitch me why we need it. Because that to me is, that's not adding anything. That's just adding our own lore into the, like, yeah, there's nothing benefit. We're not gaining anything other than we're modifying the base experience right out of the vault, and I don't like that unless there's a strong reason for it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it does fit. It's just that there's no, like, Bethesda should have put it there, right? Like, this is this feels like stepping out of our lane. If it was like planting some seeds that were like foreshadowing what we're doing in our story, I could see an argument for it. But otherwise, this is just unnecessary fluff. So I'm gonna remove it for now until one of our writers gives me a compelling reason for why they put that there. Because a lot of stuff we were working on at the very end kind of got put in last minute without much oversight, and so. But everybody on the team knows it's a pet peeve of mine to edit the vanilla game world without reason. So it was, I'm sure that somebody had a reason, or this was intended to go in our extra area. We have our own little subsection of Vault 111. Maybe it was intended to go there, and then this was just a mistake. I don't know, but I'll talk to somebody tomorrow. We'll figure it out. It does add to the story. It's plot fillers, but you can't hack at the start of the game. Yeah, but I don't think it's anything for, it doesn't add anything for our story. That's just like stuff about the vanilla story. So if we needed it, that, I don't know, it just feels like something that would go in a different kind of mod. Let's see, there's another one in Vault 81. Base ID is 17FA6. Oh, base ID is 17F71. Is that the one I just edited? Yeah, that's that one I just edited. Oh, I know what this is for sympathy for the devil. That's right. Okay, this makes a little more sense. Okay, so I can't disable it. Where can I put it though? I guess I think I need to put it in our sub area. And that should still work in the sequencing to our story, I think. Yeah, this is for a different quest that I'm thinking. I thought this was something, but this shouldn't. This is meant for a specific quest. I should be able to put it under... Okay, now I know why this exists. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. It's SQL5. I think I can put it underneath. Yeah, let's stick it down there for now. I'm trying to think if there would be a reason not to do that. I guess that creates a problem with the sequencing. Okay, this is something I'm going to have to deal with tomorrow. This is for a really cool side quest, but there's got to be a better way to do this than sticking this in here and retconning the very first zone. Like, if it was like almost any other vault, it would be less noticeable. But this one, like, everybody plays this vault a million times, so any changes we make to here are going to really stand out. Okay, well, we'll worry about that tomorrow. All right, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. We got a lot of good bug fixes in. We have almost good enough to make a hotfix patch tomorrow, but we'll see what other folks have for me in the morning and see what kind of stuff that our testers reported that I can knock out tomorrow before we post a patch. So I will see you guys all next week. I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll do another bug fix live. Maybe we'll get back to playing. Kind of just depends on how my schedule is holding up that time. So thank you guys all for hanging out.